You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids.
This is CNN Radio.
We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
Gang violence would be a...
Let the good times roll with the fun of Kernel Baseball in The Zone.
Bring your family, bring your friends. This is where the fun never ends. Everybody knows when you're at the game. The good times roll. Hey, Kernels, let the good times roll. Cedar Rapids Kernels, let the good times roll.
With the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, here's the voice of the Kernels, John Rogers.
On a very overcast and cool Wednesday evening, the Kernels kick off a 9-game road trip with the first of 3 here in Davenport. Welcome to John O'Donnell Stadium. This is our second visit here in the last 2 weeks. The Kernels in swing of the Quad Cities split 4 games here, and the Kernels fresh off a victory Monday night at home over Burlington, and then a day off yesterday, are ready to spring back into action with Fernando Rodriguez trying to come out of a bit of a rut. The Colonel right-hander has been shelled his last 2 starts, and hopefully he can get back on track, and the Kernels can start a little bit of a winning streak, or at least one of those periods where we need to win 8 out of 10 or 10 out of 12 to get back in the thick of things in the Western Division first half race. Kernan Ronan joined us Monday evening on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. We just glazed the tip of the iceberg in terms of Kernan's 17 marvelous years of pro baseball experience. And Kernan will be our guest again this evening here from Davenport next on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show here in the Zone.
Triple Play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications Triple Play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
We enjoyed talking to Kernan Ronan, the Colonel pitching coach, so much in our homestand finale Monday night against Burlington that we've had Kernan step to the mound with us, so to speak, again here in Davenport before we open up a 9-game road trip. And Kernan, you told us a little bit about your 17-year career playing baseball, pitching, coaching, and one of the places you coached was Palm Springs, California. Tell us about what it was like in that beautiful area. I've never been there.
Well, it is a beautiful area. In the summertime, it kind of becomes a ghost town, though. It gets so hot there that I think most of the residents leave town. It's a pretty wealthy town. It is a golf mecca. I played some really, really good golf courses there. I had a lot of fun. The fans didn't come out a lot just because, there weren't a lot of people in town at the time. When we come off a road trip, usually the initial game would have a pretty good crowd, but after that, it wasn't. They did not draw very well. And I think it's because most of the residents really leave town in the summertime because it gets very hot there.
They're snowbirds. They come there in the winter. How hot does it get in Palm Springs, and then does it cool off during the evening in the summer, or does it stay hot?
Oh, it stays hot. And it's probably about 115 to 120 in there. It's probably a little worse than Phoenix.
You mentioned how high-priced it can be with all the real estate and people with money able to afford condominiums, timeshares, and second homes there. Was it prohibitively expensive for a guy on a professional minor league salary to do things in Palm Springs? How did you get on the golf courses?
Well, we usually had deals. We had deals arranged, set up. My first year there, one of my pitchers, his name was Don Vidmar, had a old high school buddy that happened to work in one of the golf courses, so he called him up out of the blue, and so that was nice. And one of our trainers was a big golfer, and he actually lived there, so he had some connections. So It was just simply because we knew some people and made some calls, and they were kind enough to give us some deals.
Kernan Ronan's with us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show here from John O'Donnell Stadium. And Kernan, you've been in the game in the same organization for 17 years, and that has meant that you've touched a lot of lives. Not every kid you've coached has made it to the big leagues. That goes with the territory, but a number of them have. And I thought it'd be fun for our Kernel fans to hear about some that you have touched. I was at the Traveling Baseball Hall of Fame Museum in Chicago 2 years ago. There was the cap of John Lackey, former Colonel John Lackey, the only rookie to win a Game 7 of a World Series. We only had John here for 6 or 7 starts. Where did you have John Lackey?
Well, I had John Lackey that same year that he was here. He came up to Rancho, or I think it was actually to Lake Elsinore, and then he just pretty much continued doing there what he had been doing here all year. And I believe he was there about a month and a half, and then boom, he was up to Double-A.
We remember him as a competitor.
Extremely competitive. Sometimes they can get the best of him out there, pretty demonstrative with his emotions. And I think once he learned to control that a little bit better, he just took off and became the major league pitcher he is today.
A guy we had here in '98 on Gary Templeton's club was Scott Shields. Scott told us his goal was to pitch in over 60 games as a Colonel. He did that. I had no clue that Scott Shields would be such an integral part of Mike Scioscia and Buddy Black's big league pitching staff. Tell us about a fun story about Scott Shields.
Well, Scotty, it was the following year that he was here. I had him in Lake Elsinore too, and he was slated to be one of our relievers. And Lake Elsinore is a beautiful ballpark, and it has its own little intricate wall out there. And right field is similar to the Green Monster in Boston. So Scotty's down on the left field foul line just playing catch, and Marcel Latchman's in town, and Marcel's our on-field coordinator. And Scotty just decides, well, I'm going to throw this ball over the wall, and he just pretty much just steps right into it and throws the ball from the left field line over the right field wall. And Marcel says, well, we got to make him a starter. And we made him a starter that year, and he was phenomenal for me that year. He didn't stay there all year. He pitched so well that he earned a promotion to Double-A. And then I think the following year he's in Triple-A, and then he made the big club right soon after that as a reliever. So he's awesome. He loves the game. He competes. He throws. He has great stuff. He can start. He can relieve. He can take the ball every day. He was just a lot of fun to have on the team.
He has the proverbial rubber arm. Not everybody's blessed with that.
That is true. And knock on wood, he does have that. He is blessed with that, and he can bounce back quite quickly.
Kernan, another guy that we want to talk about before we go to break, he was here as part of our fabulous team in the year 2002 that had Dallas McPherson and Jeff Mathis and Casey Kochman, and that is a left-handed starter, Jake Woods. Jake broke camp with the Los Angeles Angels this spring. He's in the big leagues as a lefty.
Yes, he is, and I'm very happy for Jake. I had him last year in Little Rock, Arkansas. He was like 9-2 with us for, I think he was there just a little bit over past halfway, and he was just, he goes out there, he competes, he does what he needs to do, he keeps you, every time he takes the mound, or I always felt every time he took the mound, we had a really good chance to win that game. He throws strikes with 3 pitches, he competes, he does what it takes to keep his team in the game, and last year at the time, while he was there, we had a pretty good offensive team. So when he did that, he was able to get a lot of wins, and that's what he's pretty much done, to earn a spot in the big league roster too.
Kernan Ronan's talking about former Colonels who have earned spots on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim on their pitching staff. We're in Davenport to open up a 9-game homestand, the first of 3 against the Swing of the Quad Cities, and we'll continue with Colonel pitching coach Kernan Ronan on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show in just a minute. This is Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Hometown Restyling.
Hometown Restyling. For all your remodeling needs, satisfaction is guaranteed. Hometown Restyling specializes in all of your home's interior, exterior needs. Come and visit one of our showrooms, one in Hiawatha, one in Coralville, and see the possibilities. Windows, siding, sunrooms. Please call 378-1221. Hometown Restyling. There's no place like home.
We've been telling you for some time that Greg's Lawn Service is a cut above the rest when it comes to caring for your lawn. However, Greg's experienced staff does so much more than lawn care. They offer complete landscape design and installation, concrete curb edging, grading, sodding, and hydro-seeding. Yes, Greg's is a complete lawn care service, and they welcome the opportunity to show you why they are a cut above the rest. Give Greg's a call for more details about their wide range of services.
Kernan Ronan is the Colonel pitching coach. He's our guest from Davenport on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. And Kernan, I thought we'd wind up with a couple of closers who have, one has made a brilliant career for himself. The other is just starting to become a household name. Troy Percival was the closer for over a decade with the Anaheim Angels. The Detroit Tigers signed Troy as a free agent, but Troy is a household name. If I understand right, he did not start his professional career as a pitcher.
That is correct. He was a catcher. And I don't know, whoever decided to make him a pitcher should be,
knighted.
Exactly. He became a pitcher, and I was fortunate enough to have Troy one year when I was coaching in AA in Midland, Texas, and he was my closer there. My memory isn't as good as it used to be, John, but I don't think he stayed there all year. We had a really good bullpen that year. I think Billy Seamus was there too, and Percival did what he's done for all these years in the big leagues, and he was out of there, pretty soon during the year, and was promoted to AAA. And after that, it was the rest, as they say, is history.
One thing I liked about him, and I'm sure he'll continue as a Tiger, he basically 90% of the time says to the hitter, "Okay, big boy, here's my best pitch. If you can hit it, go ahead."
That's right, and that's the mentality you need. That's the mentality you need to have to be, one, successful as a closer, but I think overall just as a pitcher. Once you get up there, it's like, hey, here comes my best stuff, whatever it is, hit it.
Finally, Francisco Rodriguez. We never got to see him here. He skipped our level. But this isn't too strong a term. He kind of languished in the minor leagues several years. The Angels knew they had an arm. But from what I heard, they had an awful time channeling his concentration and getting him to throw strikes and to be consistent. Now, he's the most feared closer in baseball. He shined in the postseason when the Angels won it all in 2002. What turned it around for the guy they call K. Rodriguez, Francisco Rodriguez?
Well, I think what turned it around for Frankie was when they decided to move him from the rotation as a starter to the bullpen. And he basically just took off from that. He relished that role, and his personality came out, and he pitches with flair and personality and aggressiveness now, and he really took off at that point. I had the pleasure of having Frankie for 2 years as a starter, and he seemed as a starter like he was always trying to, how should I say it, try to pace himself so he could go the whole game. His stuff was very good. The breaking ball has always been electric, but the fastball wasn't what it is now. It was kind of like he tried to, we probably tried to refine him too much to where he tried to just throw the ball in the zone instead of just cutting it loose. And as a reliever now, he just cuts it loose, and his command is pretty darn good.
Did you have any input into letting the Angels know maybe he wasn't going to make it as a starter, try him in the bullpen, or was that later?
No, that was later. I think I don't know actually who made that decision, but that was later.
And they do call him K-Rod on the West Coast.
Yes, that's my understanding.
Kernan, thank you so much. You've got to feel like a professor who has graduated fellas cum laude, magna cum laude, who have gone on to the heights of their professions. That is something to be proud of, and I'm sure you think about those guys all the time.
Well, I do, John, and what made the World Series victory even more special in 2002 was, well, obviously when the organization for which you work wins it, that's always very special. But what really made it extra special was with the exception of like a couple even of the position players, I knew a lot of those guys, as young men coming up through the organization, and to see them at the pinnacle of their career achieve what everybody strives to achieve was really very enjoyable and very, very special.
It gives you goosebumps.
Yes, it does.
I'm getting them right now just having called some of their games. Kernan, thank you so much. As we embark on this 9-game road trip, you'll have something to look forward to when we get back. Please return to Zio Giano's with this certificate for the best in Italian pasta cuisine. Zio Giano's, locally owned, family-run for over 20 years. They welcome you in any time, Kernan.
Well, thank you, John. That's very nice, and I always enjoy talking with you.
Well, we did too, part 2 with Kernan Ronan. On the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. Up next, Colonel Director of Media Relations Todd Brummelkamp and I will set Game 1 starting lineups. Kernels in Quad City. This is Colonel Baseball in the zone.
And if he's done, we attack at lunch.
No, they will expect that. We attack at dinner too.
Excellent. They will never expect a second wave of warriors.
We must prepare.
They will be waiting.
With fresh meat and vegetables on a large table.
And we will be swift in our actions.
Choosing only the finest of their offerings.
Piling them high in a bowl.
Then cooking them fast on a sizzling grill.
And then we eat.
Gaze upon your fresh meats and vegetables for the final time.
The attack will be successful, and we will be satisfied.
The plan is done.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, hey, Valerie. Yeah, we're just getting ready for lunch at Genghis Grill. You want to go?
Yes, to Genghis Grill. Probably no to you two.
She is a spy.
And not nearly as hot as she thinks she is.
Fresh food attack.
Genghis Grill, where Edgewood Road meets Williams Boulevard in Cedar Rapids, next to Gander Mountain.
Midweek, mid-May greetings from the banks of the Mississippi River. The Kernels are back in Davenport, where just a week and a half ago, or 2 weeks ago, we split 4 with the swing of the Quad Cities. I'm John Rogers. Alongside is Todd Brummelkamp, the Colonel Director of Media Relations, and we're here to play Quad City 3 games. Then it's on to Dayton for 4, then back here to Davenport a week from tonight, if you can believe that. It is the swing at 15 and 15, skippered by Joe Cunningham Jr., and the Kernels at 13 and 18. The swing 4 games out of first in the Western Division first half standings, and our Kernels are 6.5 lengths back in 7th place in the 8-team Western Division first half standings. The umpires are taking in the lineups from Colonel skipper Bobby Magianis and Joe Cunningham of Quad City. I'll set the swing lineup, and then Todd will have the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. Quad City's 9 up and 9 down here at John O'Donnell Stadium, 6 and 6 on the road, and even 500 on the season. Speedster Matt Lemancic leads it off. He's in left field for Quad City. Switch hitting shortstop Matt Shepard will bat second. Hitting third is the right fielder Joe Mather. 7th in the league in hitting with a .333 average, second baseman cleanup man Jarrett Hoffpauir. Derry Hammond is 25 years old. He's the designated hitter, and Derry will bat 5th for the swing. Hitting 6th and catching Brady Toops, T-O-O-P-S. The third baseman is Jake Mullinax for the swing. He'll hit 7th. Batting 8th at first base, Mike Ferris. And hitting 9th, the center fielder for the swing, Simon Williams. On the hill for Quad Cities, making his 7th start of the year with a 2-2 record, is Dennis Dove. Dennis Dove was a winner his last time out Thursday in Lansing, Michigan. He pitched 6 innings, giving the Lugnuts only 1 run on 4 hits. He was a 14-3 winner, and he beat the Kernels and our starter, Fernando Rodriguez Jr., here on April 30th, 14-2. Well, that's the Quad City lineup. Allen Motor Company presents the Kernel starting lineup. Check out the great deals now at Allen's. 2004 Malibu Classic start at just $9,495, and 2004 Old Zaleros start at just $10,495 at Allen Motor Company. I-380 and Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha. With the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, here's Colonel Director of Media Relations, Todd Brummelkamp.
Well, thank you, John. As always, a pleasure to bring folks listening at home the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. The Kernels coming to this game 13 and 18. They did win their last game against Burlington before the night off last night, and of course we're looking to make it 2 in a row here. Looking to get us out of the gate will be Sean Rodriguez. He's leading off and playing his natural position as shortstop. He returns to shortstop because Richard Giannotti, who missed 6 games for the Kernels, is batting second and returns to the lineup in center field, so Rodriguez goes back to short. Batting third and playing third base for the Kernels will be the active leading hitter on the team with a .298 batting average, first-year pro Freddy Sandoval. Batting cleanup will be the left fielder Aaron Peel. Aaron has his batting average up to .280 on the season. He's worked very hard to do that. Batting fifth, the designated hitter Warner Madrigal. Warner's 6 home runs are second in the Midwest League behind Lansing's Chip Cannon. Batting sixth in right field with 11 RBIs is Jordan Renz. Batting seventh and making his Kernel debut will be first baseman Chris Walston. Batting eighth is Tommy Duenas. Tommy's played in 22 games for the Kernels, and he has started all 22 of those games. And batting ninth and playing second base will be Nate Sutton, as John mentioned, on the mound with a 1-2 record and a 6.14 ERA is Fernando Rodriguez Jr.
And here's the national anthem. The Kernels cast away on a 9-game road trip and begins here tonight against the Swing in Davenport. Todd Brummelkamp and I will be back in just a minute to bring you tonight's action here in the Zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
The lights are on here on the banks of the Mississippi at the newly renovated John O'Donnell Stadium, and the Swing, as we talked at length about, are in their kind of mod, different color uniforms for baseball, professional baseball, baby blue sleeves, baby blue hats, baby blue socks, and orange numbers. The Kernels are in their all-red batting practice tops with white numbers and gray trousers. Anderson and Brown Eye Care proud to present our umpiring duo in this series. Ryan Stockdale behind the plate. His partner on the diamond is wearing a navy blue overcoat or pullover jacket and gloves, and that's Darren Boudon on the diamond. Our umpires brought to us by Anderson and Brown Eye Care. Sean Rodriguez made a game-saving catch Monday night at home against Burlington, and Sean's the first up against the 6'4" right-hander Dennis Dove. And this ball game starts with a fastball up and in, ball one. We're underway just after 7 o'clock here in Davenport. Sean's hitting .229, a homer and 3 RBIs. He's a right-handed hitter. And he shoots one foul off to the right for strike one. Matt Lemansix in left for Quad City, Simon Williams in center, and Joe Mather playing way, way off the line in right. Man, if Sean Rodriguez could go the other way with one, he'd have a double, if not a triple. The 1-1 from Dove. Fastball low for ball 2. At third, guarding the line is Jake Mullinax for the swing. Matt Shepard's at short. Over at second, Jarrett Hoffpauir. He really murdered Colonel pitching in the series here a week and a half ago, and big Mike Ferris at first. Here's a ground ball up the middle, and ranging far to his left is Matt Shepard. His throw to first would have been in time, Todd, but the first baseman Ferris couldn't quite come up with it in the dirt. Otherwise, I think the swing would have had him.
Yeah, Johnny just dropped the ball, and that's a simple play that should have been made, but they'll give Sean a hit on it. Everyone's going to be pleased about that, and he's on first base, and the Colonels look to get out of the gate early and often here.
It was a good play to his left by Matt Shepard, but very good play. And his throw in the dirt, if the first baseman Mike Ferris had been able to come up with it, I think they'd have had Sean Rodriguez. Great to see Richard Giannotti back in the Colonel lineup, and he takes a strike at the knees. As Todd told you in his pronouncement of the Allen Motor Company Colonel starting lineup, Richard hasn't seen action since last Tuesday at home. He's been out with a sore left wrist. Ferris holds the runner Rodriguez at first. The 0-1 to Richard, the switch hitter, instead a throw to first and the runner back. We're just underway on a very overcast and cool Wednesday evening. The temperature probably in the low 60s. Big Dennis Dove is set, and he throws over to first. Sean dives back in safely. Rodriguez leads the Colonels with 6 steals. The Colonels are third in the league with 39 stolen bases in 31 games. We're hitting .240, and that's second to last in the Midwest League. This Quad City pitching staff is ranked last in the league with the highest ERA, 4.56. Strike 2 on the outside corner to Richard Giannotti. Todd mentioned as well, Todd talked to Scott Unash on the 19th hole this afternoon, and Todd, we hit indoors this afternoon. Hit at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Dennis Dove is ahead of Giannotti, 0-2, and fires just outside for a ball. Richard steps out. Bobby Magianis is flashing signs from his third base coaching box. Justin Bachman has a Colonel red jacket on with gray sleeves. He's coaching at first. Again, the right fielder Joe Mather is playing way off the line in right. Todd, as best I can see, the wind may be a bit of a factor this evening.
Yeah, it's blowing left to right and maybe just a shade in right now. It's kind of hard to tell. But it's whipping around a little bit. But
a curve, and a good one at that, and Richard Giannotti went fishing for it, and he's down on strikes. Dennis Dove is 2-2, and in 33 innings, he's allowed 33 hits. He's fanned 19 in 33 innings, walked only 8. His ERA is 4.09. Dove is out of Georgia Southern University. He was a high draft pick of the Cardinals, a third-round pick 2 years ago out of Georgia Southern. Great to have Freddy Sandoval back in the lineup. And Rodriguez draws a throw. He gets back safely. Boy, I look across the river, Todd, at the flag atop the world headquarters of, is it John Deere or Caterpillar? Or John Deere in Moline, and that wind is whipping left to right.
That's a lot more noticeable across the river than it is here at the ballpark. I think that might be because that giant scoreboard out there in left center field is a little bit of a deterrent for the wind.
A bit, but now as we look out to left center, we do see the wind kicking the flag left to right as well. Strike 1 called to Freddy Sandoval. Freddy, the team leader, with 17 runs driven in on the year. Left switch hitter batting left, and Dennis Dove delivers just low for a ball. Lots of action this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, and Todd, let's get to it here in just a moment. I know we have a lot of Cub fans in eastern Iowa, and they played the Mets at Wrigley. We'll start with that score here after this next delivery from the swing right-hander to Freddy Sandoval. They pitch out. Rodriguez is running, and the throw to second in plenty of time to get Sean Rodriguez. Well, Todd, I don't know how the swing knew it, but they knew which pitch to pitch out on.
Well, and it was almost like Sean picked up the fact that it was a pitch out. Did it not appear that he flinched back towards first base and then took off for second base anyway? So an interesting play erases Sean Rodriguez off first base, and
so there's 2 out here in the Colonel first inning. The 2-1 to Freddy. Strike 2 on the outside corner. The Mets played the Cubs at Wrigley today.
That's right, and it took 10 innings, but Cub fans can rejoice. They defeated the Mets 4-3. Ryan Dempster gets the victory in relief. Derek Lee hits his 10th home run of the season for the Cubbies.
A slider in the dirt, and that's ball 3 to Freddy Sandoval. Todd, last season, Ryan Dempster pitched in this league on a rehab assignment.
That's right, on a rehab assignment, as we've seen so many people pass through this league before on rehab assignments. I remember when I was a young man, Carlton Fisk was in South Bend on a rehab assignment.
A fastball is outside, ball 4 to Freddy Sandoval. Did you make it over to South Bend to see him?
No, I did not, but Rick Sutcliffe appeared for Peoria. There's been a number of players, Mike Boddicker for the Beloit Brewers.
Aaron Peel's the cleanup batter as Freddy Sandoval walked on a 3-2 pitch. Aaron's hitting .280, 3 homers, 10 RBIs. Cubs won this afternoon at Wrigley on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, and there was lots of other afternoon action. Peel, a right-handed batter, takes a strike on the outside corner.
We'll start once again with my San Diego Padres, 7-2 winners in Cincinnati today. Former first-rounder Tim Stauffer picks up his first victory of the year. Philadelphia lost in Milwaukee 2-5. Brewers picking up a victory.
They're playing well.
They are playing well. Someone who's not playing well, Colorado, but they managed to win 6-5 at Coors Field today against the Atlanta Braves. Despite an Andrew Jones home run for the Braves.
Here's the 0-1 to Peel, low and away, and a good stop by Brady Toops to backhand it. Todd, Colorado's had an abysmal time on the road.
On the road and, for the most part, at home. They're the Baby Rocks, and featured prominently in that lineup former Quad City River Bandit Aaron Miles.
He's doing real well.
He's one of the few that's doing really well. Of course, on that club, he's a veteran.
That's true. A throw to first, and Freddy Sandoval with 5 steals and 7 tries just did get backhand first. Runner at first for the Kernels. Top of the first inning here in Davenport. No score. Dennis Dove beats the Kernels and Fernando Rodriguez Jr., his opponent tonight on April 30th, 14-2. The 1-1 to the Colonel cleanup man. Sandoval running. Now a throw down the right field line, and Freddie will go to second, and over to get it near the line is Joe Mather. And the errors on Brady Toops, and that's Toops' second error of the season. Would a good throw, Todd, have gotten Sandoval trying to get back to first?
It would have been awfully close, but the throw was high, and Ferris, being a left-handed thrower, wears the glove on the right hand. He had to reach sort of across his body and up. Just an odd extension, and that ball scooted down into right field.
And Freddy Sandoval popped to his feet and motored into second. He's there in scoring position. The 1-2 to Aaron Peel. A curve tapped to third. Took a tough off on Jake Mullinax, but he adjusted well and throws out Aaron Peel. Todd, let's finish up the National League, and then we'll get to the American League when these swing bats.
Well, there's only one more game completed in the National League, and that was a 7-2 victory by the Pirates in San Francisco this afternoon. 3 games left in the National League. Washington and Arizona are tied at 1 apiece. That game is in Phoenix. And Dontrell Willis looking for yet another victory on the year. His Florida Marlins lead Houston 2-1 in Miami. And later on tonight, John, is your Cardinals hosting the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's what's going on in the National League. And as John said, we'll take a look at the junior circuit when we return from our first break here at John O'Donnell Stadium.
No runs in the first for the Kernels. A hit, 1 swing error. The Kernels leave a runner, and after 1/2 inning, Kernels nothing. Swing coming up. This is Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
To make your landscaping dreams become a reality, see the experts at Keen's Material. Retaining walls, custom patios, walkways, and steps, Keen's Material has all the hardscape elements needed to complete your landscaping project. Need ideas? Visit Keen's Outdoor Display Area on 12th Avenue Southwest to see over 100 products showcased. Let your property reach its full potential with help from the experts at Keen's Material. Visit Keen's in Cedar Rapids, Coralville, and Eldridge, or on the web at keensmaterial.com.
Are you ready for a little racing? The Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM and Hawkeye Downs want to help you take the family to the races without blowing out your wallet. The last Friday of every month is now the Zone 1600 Family Night. Just click on the zone1600.com and print the special Family Night coupon. Take it to Hawkeye Downs the last Friday of the month, and 2 adults and the kids get in for just $16. 16 simoleons to see the hottest racing in town? That's freaking unbelievable! Get your valuable coupon today at the worldwide headquarters of the Zone, thezone1600.com. And we'll see you at the Zone 1600 Family Night at Hawkeye Downs, the last Friday of every month, all summer long.
Hawkeye Downs Racing.
Another killer deal from your home of Hawkeye Downs Racing on the radio. The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM.
Hitting leadoff batter Matt Lemancic, ready to go against Fernando Rodriguez. We're in the bottom of the first, no score. Lemancic had 5 hits in 17 at-bats when we played the swing in 4 games a couple of weeks ago, and a strike is in on the inside corner from Fernando Rodriguez, who loves to work quickly. Lemancic was a regular with the Cardinal affiliate in 2003, the Peoria Chiefs. He hit .273 in 125 games, and he stole 56 bases. Ball 1 is low from Fernando. Now Lemancic rips one foul straight back. State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, Gary Schubat, and Dale Thompson bring us a look at the afternoon action in the big leagues. Todd gave us the scores from the National League. Here's strike 3 called at the knees to Lemancic, and Todd, that looked like a changeup.
Whatever it was, it buckled Lemancic, and he hesitated just long enough that he couldn't get the bat off his shoulder. Actually watched that one go all the way back into the catcher's mitt, and Darren Boudon rang him up.
Matt Shepard had 5 hits in 16 at-bats against the Kernels a couple of weeks ago here. Shepard's a switch hitter, and he'll bat left-handed. There's a strike called from Fernando Rodriguez. American League, State Farm Major League scoreboard, and there were a number of afternoon games as the 0-1 to Shepard is just outside.
We had a wild one in Toronto today as the Blue Jays win 12-9. They scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th to put the Royals away.
Pushing one foul over the third base stands, out of play, and going down in the count 1-2 is switch hitting shortstop Matt Shepard. He's a .267 hitter, a homer, 15 RBIs.
2 of the premier teams in the American League squaring off in Boston today, and it was the Red Sox beating the Athletics 6-5.
Here's a little looper off the fist of the batter to second baseman Nate Sutton. Nate has it at second, and there's 2 away in the swing first inning. Matt Shepard was jammed and hit a soft liner to the right side where Nate Sutton didn't have to move a step. And Fernando Rodriguez has retired the first 2 Quad City batters here in the first inning. Here's a fellow he didn't see a week and a half ago, Joe Mather, 6'4", 195. Mather played last season with Peoria when they were a Cardinal affiliate, and in 65 games, Joe hit .253, 7 homers, 31 RBIs. Right-handed hitter Joe Mather, and on this cool Wednesday evening, he does not wear batting gloves. Joe Mather, a third-round Cardinal pick back in 2001, looks at a breaking pitch for a strike from Fernando Rodriguez, who's working quickly.
Our general manager, Jack Rader, will be happy. His New York Yankees won 13-9 today. Tino Martinez, Gary Sheffield, Jorge Posada, and Derek Jeter all homered as the Yankees beat Seattle 13-9 in the Bronx.
With 2 out and nobody on, Fernando Rodriguez misses with a breaking pitch low and away to Joe Mather. The 1-1 is hammered on one hop to short. Sean Rodriguez has it, and on to the big first baseman, Chris Walston, to end the inning. Joe Mather hit a one-hop BB to shortstop, and that's where Sean Rodriguez threw him out. Down in order go the swing at the hands of Fernando Rodriguez in the top of the first inning. Todd, any more afternoon games in the American League?
Plenty of them. We had Detroit 6-5 winners over the Texas Rangers at the ballpark in Arlington. Former Quad City River Bandit Jamie Walker got the win in relief for the Tigers. It's the White Sox remaining hot. They're 5-2 winners at Tropicana Field over the Devil Rays today. Baltimore takes a 7-4 victory over the Twins. That game at Camden Yards in Baltimore. And one last American League game. Our Los Angeles Angels take one on the chin today, 9-3 at Angel Stadium. The Cleveland Indians, very ungracious visitors, winning 9-3, pounding out 13 hits. Kelvin Escobar taking a loss. He's 1-2 with a 3.91 ERA.
And after one in Davenport, the Kernels and Swing scoreless. This is Kernel Baseball in the zone.
Papa John's pizza, it's so good. Better is best, that's understood. Better call Papa John's tonight. Better call Papa, he's got it right. Better ingredients, better pizza.
Papa John's. Attention baseball fans, call your local Papa John's for our home run special. Get a large pizza with up to 3 toppings of your choice for only $9.99. Papa John's.
Better call Papa.
The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM. The Guide, your entertainment starting point. And your Coca-Cola Bottling Company invite you to choose the best lunch spot in CR. And the challengers are Brick's Bar and Grill, Cabo Sports Bar and Grill, the Cedar Brewing Company, Chappie's Safari Lounge, the Chrome Horse Clubhouse and Saloon, Chuck and Dale's Bar and Grill, CJ's Sports Bar and Grill, Cocktails and Company, Moose McDuffie's, Third on First Sports Bar and Grill, Tornado's Grub and Pub, and the 33rd Avenue Sports Bar and Grill in Zaza's Clarion Hotel. Eat, then vote for your favorite establishment, and you could win a trip to Vegas on Allegiant Air. Your official entry form is in the Guide. Look for details in your mail or the Wednesday Gazette. Complete rules online at thezone1600.com. Join the Zone and the Guide on our 2005 Bar and Grill Tour, presented by your Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Because a man's gotta eat, don't he?
Batter, or rather number 5 hitter Warren Madrigal in the Allen Motor Company Colonel order, has taken a couple of pitches outside. He's ahead 2-0 as Dennis Dove, the right-hander, fires a strike called. Warner hitting .237, didn't play in the Monday night Colonel win at home. Leads the team with 6 homers, and he's driven in 15 runs. Ball 3, low and away from the right-hander. Dove beat the Kernels here on Saturday, the 30th of April, 5 innings pitched. He gave us 1 run on 4 hits, struck out 2, and walked 2. Dennis's record 2-2 on the year. Pitched very well his last time out in Lansing, Michigan on Thursday of last week. The 3-1. And Warner was tied up in knots on a pitch on the inside corner for strike 2. Madrigal, as Todd described earlier in the spring, has taken a Gary Sheffield-like approach with his wrist, kind of hitching them back and forth as the payoff pitch is swung on and fouled. That pitch, Todd, looked to be chin high, but Warner couldn't lay off.
Yep, someone's got a pretty good scouting report on big old Warner, and they tried working him away. Now they'll work fastballs up on him, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him get a hold of one.
Dove's next 3-2 offering. Fouled straight back into the screen. It's 343 down the left field line here at the newly renovated John O'Donnell Stadium, an 8-foot high blue padded wall. Only 318 down the right field line, and as Todd and I said last week when we were here, it's only about 60 feet from the right field warning track to the Mississippi River. A 3-2 pitch slapped to the right side, and a good play to his left by Jarrett Hoffpauir, covering a lot of ground to his left. He got it on the second hop and throws out Madrigal. So Warner had a good at bat, but winds up bouncing to second base. 1 out in the Swing second inning for Jordan Renz. Jordan, a right-handed batter with a 186 average. 1 home run, 12 RBIs for Jordan Renz. He was 2 for 4. He scored a run and drove in a run in the Colonel win Monday night at home. A strike called on the outside corner to Jordan Renz. It's 400 feet to dead center here at John O'Donnell, and a 12-foot high dark blue wall in center field. Above that is a very dark blue batter's eye, about a 15-foot high net. Both these hurlers are working quickly. Ball 1 is high to Renz. Nobody on. 1 away in the Colonel's second inning, no score. Jordan takes a healthy cut and missed a fastball for strike 2. The lights on the steel arched girders of the Centennial Bridge are lit. That Centennial Bridge connecting Davenport to Moline. A check swing on a curve in the dirt, and I thought Renz went around. The base umpire, Darren Boudon, says no. Todd, what did you think?
I don't think he went around it. It does look like Jordan may be working on his batting stance a little bit. He looks a little like he's crouched lower, but his hand certainly did not, nor did the bat cross the plane on that check swing.
On a 2-2 delivery, Renz takes a curve in the dirt for ball 3, so both Colonel batters here in the second inning have run the count full. Colleges where they're from? Washington State. Oh, hold on. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. High gas from Dennis Dove, and I want to apologize to our listeners on behalf of Anderson and Brown Eye Care. Todd, I think I've got the umpire's flip-flop, don't I?
You may need to visit Anderson and Brown Eye Care yourself, John.
It's Darren Badon working the plate, and his partner on the diamond is Ryan Stockdale.
That's right.
Thank you. With 2 away, our first look at Chris Walston. And a fastball high. Walston, boy, he is a big kid, 6'6", 230. And we'll have Todd tell you a little bit more about his background as he's ahead 1-0. Chris fouls one straight back. Chris Walston just joined the Kernels with Ben Johnson being promoted up to Rancho Cucamonga, and Billy Lehman was sent back to extended spring training, and Walston is a right-handed batter with power. The 1-1 to the big guy. Look out, he shoots it foul into the first base seats for strike 2.
Walston, a 6th-round draft pick of the Angels in 2002. Spent his first 2 seasons in professional baseball with the Mesa Angels in the Arizona League. Spent last year on that championship team in Provo, hit .265 and drove in 35 runs for the Provo Angels.
And Uncle Charlie, and it stays down and into the batter, Chris Walston.
And Chris actually attended El Capitan High School, the same high school former Kernels catcher Jarrett Abruzzo attended. That's a baseball factory there, John.
Near San Diego. Ball 3 is a fastball low and away to Chris Walston, and all 3 Kernel hitters here in the top of the second inning have run the count full before making outs. Let's see if Chris Walston can do something on Dennis Dove's payoff pitch. And the right-hander was into his windup and then kind of lost his balance on the rubber.
Well, you can do that when there's no one on base and you're not harmed, but there's a runner on base, that's a balk.
Walston, big, tall, lanky guy, waits for the payoff delivery, and he cuts through it, a swing and a miss, strike 3. So even though the Kernels ran the count full, all 3 Kernel hitters in the second inning, all 3 are outs at the hands of Dennis Dove. We go to the bottom of the second in Davenport, where the Kernels and Swing are scoreless. You're enjoying Kernel baseball this evening here in the Zone.
Okay, we're ready in here, and here comes the music.
If you've been thinking about getting cable television from Mediacom.
If you've been thinking about getting cable television from Mediacom.
Or high-speed internet.
Or high-speed internet.
Wait a minute. Why is she repeating everything I'm saying?
'Cause it's a double offer?
Yeah, you can get Mediacom's digital one-star pack featuring movies and interactive guide music channels and more for just $29.95 a month for a whole year. And get Mediacom online for just $29.95 a month for a whole year.
I know that, but is it really necessary to repeat it?
Hey, gotta get the point across.
Do you want me to say it again?
Why not?
Get Mediacom's digital one-star pack for just $29.95 a month for a whole year. And get Mediacom online for just $29.95 a month for a whole year.
Aha, she forgot something. You can add HBO for just $6 a month for 6 months. And the phone number, 1-877-377-CABLE.
That number again is 1-877-377-CABLE.
I'm out of here.
Must subscribe to both services. Offer for new residential subscribers only. All products may not be available.
Selling a home is a lot harder than I thought. I need help. Got any suggestions?
Oh, yeah. Call Coldwell Banker Hedges. They're the best in Cedar Rapids.
They've got over 85 agents. How do I pick the right one?
Call Coldwell Banker Hedges at 378-8760 and ask for Nancy. She's the relocation director. She'll help you choose the best agent for your needs.
Thanks. That's exactly the help I need.
Don't thank me. Thank Coldwell Banker Hedges. They're the ones who will make the difference. Call Coldwell Banker Hedges Realty at 378-8760.
The Swing have an interesting promotion going each Wednesday night throughout the spring and summer, and Todd, it caused a little bit of a change in our schedule.
That's right. It's Beverage Night here, sponsored by a local radio station as well as the Hooters restaurant here in Davenport. And they love their beverage night. They have it every Wednesday home game, and we were very gracious enough to agree that we would take the day off yesterday as opposed to our scheduled off day, which is next Wednesday, so that the Swing could have 2 of their beverage nights in a row. So we will be here, go to Dayton play 3 here, go to Dayton for 4, and then come back here for 1 game on that beverage night.
Jarrett Hoffpauir, the cleanup batter who murdered Kernel pitching 9 for 17 a week and a half ago with 4 doubles, has wrapped one to the left side. Freddy Sandoval at third, cut over. He couldn't get it, but Sean Rodriguez did at shortstop, and Sean pegs on to Chris Walston. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. No score. And, Todd, we have a beverage special of our own each Wednesday night.
That's right. As a matter of fact, we have a better one than the Quad Cities. They end theirs at 8 o'clock, and we have what we call Buck a Cup Wednesdays at Veterans Memorial Stadium, sponsored by our good friends at 100.7 The Fox.
Gary Hammond takes a strike and now lifts one foul over the Kernel first base dugout. That's strike 2. Gary Hammond is a 25-year-old, and he had 3 hits, including a home run, in 16 at-bats in the series a week and a half ago here. Fernando Rodriguez Jr. has retired the first 4 swing batters this evening. It's a scoreless contest. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Quad City is hitting just .235 as a team as Fernando misses with a curveball up and in, ball 2 to the right-handed slugger Gary Hammond. He was a regular with the Beloit Snappers in 1999 and 2001 in this league. He swings and misses on a slider, high and away. Gary Hammond is gone, and that's 5 in a row, retired by the Kernel right-hander, 20-year-old Fernando Rodriguez. With 2 away, Brady Toops is at the plate. Toops is a catcher. And Brady's average in 15 games, .261. A homer, 5 RBIs. He's a left-handed hitting catcher. Quad City last in the league in hitting with a .235 average. They're third in the league, though, in home runs with 21, and they're last in the league in pitching. So they've been very resourceful, Todd, to have a 15-15 record with having the worst offense and the highest ERA in the league. They must be doing something right.
Well, they're ahead of us in the standings, and our stats aren't quite that bad. So, yes, resourceful is probably the good term to use to describe the Swing.
Toops hits one hard to third. What a backhanded play by Freddy Sandoval, and he throws Brady out. Brady Toops sliced one hard at the feet of Freddy Sandoval at third. Freddy calmly backhanded it. Freddy Sandoval takes a sure 2-out hit away from Brady Toops to end the Swing second inning. I'm putting a star by that one in my scorebook. 6 in a row retired by Fernando Rodriguez as Freddy Sandoval sliced the leather at Brady Toops on a fine backhanded stop on a 1-hop slasher. After 2 innings, it's the Kernels nothing, the Swing nothing, and you're enjoying Kernel baseball in the zone.
Unless you have a crystal ball that really works, nobody can foresee all the risks that might become realities. Most of us don't have a foolproof crystal ball, though. That's why it's sensible to consider the calamities that might occur to your car, home, business, or life, and insure yourself against the worst. See Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance agent, about a well-planned insurance program for your individual needs. The future is uncertain. See your Pekin insurance agent, Phil Andrews, at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency.
The next KCRG TV9 Athlete of the Week, presented by Blair Ridge Dental. Nominate your athlete from any sport at any high school in the KCRG TV9 viewing area by calling Newsline 9 at 365-9999. Nominations are accepted Saturday through Monday. Then Tuesday, see the weekly finalists on KCRG TV9 News at 6. Vote for your favorite nominee by calling City Line. In Cedar Rapids, call 363-7000. Enter category prep. That's category 7737. Or log on to KCRG.com and cast your ballot online. Thursday, meet the winner on KCRG TV9 News at 10. Plus, hear an interview with the newest athlete of the week on Game Day with Scott Unash here on The Zone. And check out the Winners Gallery posted at thezone1600.com. Catch the KCRG TV9 Athlete of the Week presented by Blair Ridge Dental on KCRG TV9 and here on The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
Thanks to Toyota Financial Services and the Gazette, the Kernels made 2 more appearances this morning, encouraging elementary school students at Hoover and at Truman Elementary School to read this spring and summer in the 7th Annual Toyota Financial Services Cedar Rapids Gazette Kernels Spring and Summer Reading Program. And what a start the kids are off to as Tommy Duenas takes strike one call. Tommy's hitting at 184, a homer, 5 RBIs, and he was 2 for 3 in the Kernel win Monday night at home. He walked and scored in the Kernel 3-run 5th inning. Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch, and Dennis Dove gets ahead of Tommy Duenas, no balls, 2 strikes.
Speaking of schools, we've got a bunch of WMT Mix 96.5 School Spirit Nights coming up. Our next homestand, which begins May 19th against West Michigan. On the 19th, it'll be Bowman Woods Elementary School night at Veterans Memorial Stadium as we take on the Whitecaps.
Ball 1 low to the Kernel right-handed hitting catcher, Tommy Duenas.
May 20th, Central Lutheran School. May 21st, Nixon Elementary. And May 22nd, Wright Elementary and College Community Schools night. Our good friends at Mix 96.5, sponsors of the School Spirit Nights at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Nubbing one foul at the feet of the on-deck hitter, Nate Sutton, is Tommy Duenas as he stays alive at 1 ball, 2 strikes. The wind is whipping in now from left center field towards the right field line. Dennis Dove has surrendered an infield single and walked a man tonight. His breaking pitch is inside, and it's 2-2 to Tommy Duenas. Tommy's been working tirelessly before every game off the hitting tee in the Kernel batting cage, trying to refine his swing. A high fly ball into shallow left. The shortstop, Matt Shepard, is out, but in comes Matt Lemancic, and Lemancic almost had that ball blow away from him to the point where he had to struggle, Todd, to bring it down. It was hit a mile high.
Well, that's very similar to a ball that Tommy Duenas would struggle with behind the plate. Just the wind changing the angle on which that ball, as you said, it looked like Shepard would make the play originally, and then Lemancic had to come on from left field. And just at the last minute, maybe with a 1.5 feet to spare between the glove and the ground, Lemancic hauls the ball in and makes the catch.
And he was lunging fully extended with that wind blowing it back in towards second base. The left fielder caught it, though. Ball 1 is low to left-handed hitting second baseman Nate Sutton. Nate's batting at 208, no homers, 3 RBIs. Nobody on, 1 away here in the Kernel third, and a late swing and a miss by Nate Sutton. Well, Todd, it was here a couple of weeks ago that we were so delighted to start promoting the Mother's Day brunch. And here's a high drive into left, down the line. Lemancic had Sutton played perfectly, and Matt comes in a few steps to glove it. Nate Sutton flies to left, 2 gone in the Kernel third inning, no score. You were gracious enough to accept my invitation to treat you to the Mother's Day brunch on Sunday morning at the ballpark, and I thought it was a fabulous success as a promotion.
I'll always take someone up when they're offering to feed me, John, so anytime you're willing, just ask me. But Mother's Day brunch, we promoted it here on the air, and as you said, in the Quad Cities, and it couldn't have turned out better. We had over 400 people come by the stadium and enjoy that beautiful, beautiful spread. The white linen tablecloth really transformed our pregame picnic area into something special. Several people coming by saying that the restaurants around town were all filled up, but we had a better spread than they did anyway. So I believe there's talks in the works that we may possibly do one on Father's Day now, and hopefully becomes a tradition, one of many at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Cedar Rapids.
Sean Rodriguez has taken a couple of pitches, 1 inside, 1 high, and now a 2-0 pitch is in there from Dennis Dove, the 6'4" right-hander. Dove was 0-5 with the New Jersey Cardinals last year in 6 starts, but he has pitched very well against the Kernels, and this is his second start. Sean Rodriguez had a healthy cut at a 2-1 fastball, but whistles it foul straight back for strike 2. Dove is now retired 6 straight Kernels. Sean batting with nobody on, 2 away here in the Colonel third. We're scoreless. Ball 3 is downstairs, a fastball. Dennis Dove wearing a long sleeve powder blue shirt underneath his white home swing jersey, a powder blue hat, and powder blue socks. The Colonels in their red knit batting practice tops and red batting helmets. Ball 4 outside to Rodriguez, and I have a feeling, even though Sean was thrown out on a pitch out in the first inning, Todd, that he will be running again with 2 outs here in the third inning. It appears that runs might be hard to come by on this chilly Wednesday night.
Well, John, I was waiting for your cue to intone that who would have thought we'd have a pitcher's duel on our hands with this type of weather outside. Pitchers tend to make a lot of mistakes. They do try to work fast to stay warm, and you'll throw a fastball down the middle of the plate or hang a curveball in this type of weather. But so far, Dove and Rodriguez have both been absolutely fantastic. And as you know, our philosophy, run, run, run. We live by it and we'll die by it. And Rodriguez has a healthy lead over there at first base.
Being held by Mike Ferris. Set at the letters is the swing right-hander. His first pitch to Giannotti, time called. The wind really whipping in hard now from left center field towards the right field line. No grandstand roof here at John O'Donnell Stadium. It's an open-air amphitheater-like structure. The first pitch to Giannotti. He fakes a bunt and ball 1 in the dirt. Richard gave a signal to Rodriguez. Hold on, Sean. Sometimes that batter, Todd, can be the key as to whether a guy tries to advance. You can't always rely on the coach to do it.
Well, that's right. Just like a batter should help the runner out at first base, a pitcher should always come in on a ball in the dirt or whatever, like we just saw with Toops, and try to help his position player out, or a pop fly behind home plate or whatever. It's all about teamwork in baseball, and Richard did a good job of holding Sean off.
Richard smacks one foul straight back, and the count even to Giannotti. He's hitting .282. Struck out in the first inning. Sean Rodriguez doing his job as the Colonel leadoff batter, has reached base twice so far tonight. An infield single in the first, but he was caught trying to steal second on a pitch out, and Sean drew a 2-out walk here in this second inning. A throw to first and the runner back.
It appears that the Swing are playing Giannotti to possibly bunt, because Ferris is playing in front of Rodriguez at first base, but he's not holding him on the bag. He's just a few steps behind that cutout so he can charge up on a possible bunt.
Sean's not running. Here's the bunt down the third base line, and they let it roll, and it will roll fair. Fair ball, 2 feet from third base, and the G-Man is back with his best weapon. By my count, that is his 8th bunt single of the year. He rolled it down the third base line ever so gently. The key, Todd, is it never left the grass and spun into the dirt well.
It hung on that grass until it reached the grass. The grass runs out on the cutout just a few feet between third and home, but the ball just dropped right off that grass and came to a dead standstill on the dirt. You'll get burned by that. Sometimes you just need to pick the ball up and try to make a play.
Now Freddy Sandoval with 2 on, 2 out, mashes one foul just past first base. That would have scored a pair, but it was foul by about 2 feet into the right field corner. Strike 1 to Freddy. Todd, Freddy's been an exceptionally good 2-out clutch hitter this season.
Well, Freddy is emerging as a star on this team, and I would not be surprised to see his name on several Midwest League All-Star ballots. The ballots just came out last week, and managers will begin voting soon. Voting ends on May 22nd, I believe.
Strike 2 called to Sandoval on the outside corner. Freddy walked and advanced to second on a throwing error by catcher Brady Toops back in the first inning. Now let's see if Dennis Dove comes right after the Colonel leading run producer with Rodriguez at second. And Richard Giannotti at first. A breaking pitch low for ball 1. Dove's ERA is 4.09. The league is hitting .268 against the tall right-hander. Rodriguez with a walking lead at second. Same for Giannotti at first. No score, but the Kernels have 2 on with 2 out here in the top of the third, and now the pitcher steps off the rubber. Big, huge canyon down in right field as Joe Mathers playing way off the right field line. Way off the right field line. They don't think Sandoval can pull this fella. Freddy fights off a good pitch down and in. Freddy waited, Todd, and he spoiled a very good pitch.
That's the sign of a good hitter right there, because you don't want to take the chance of that being called a strike. But you're right, John. They have him shaded over to left field. They think he's going to go opposite way. We've seen Freddy pull the ball a number of times this year, including his first home run, that second game of the year against Kane County.
Sandoval, a switch hitter, batting left with an open stance. Ball in the dirt, and both runners hold. Brady Toops made a good stop. He's wearing dark blue shin guards and a dark blue chest protector. He just prevented the Colonel runners from moving to second and third with a fine stop on a changeup in the dirt. Now the deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Freddy Sandoval. 2 out and 2 Colonel runners aboard. Boy, if Freddy could pull one down that right field line, he'd wind up at third with a 2-run triple. Long look by the swing right-hander. Now he whirls and throws in behind the runner at second, Rodriguez. The shortstop, Matt Shepard, snuck in behind Sean, but the throw wasn't nearly in time. No score. We're in the top of the third inning. Dennis Dove is working very deliberately. The 2-2. Ball 3 low, and now the runners will go with 2 outs on this 3-2 pitch, and that will help the Kernels because a base hit might score 2 runs with the 3-2 count.
Healthy lead by Giannotti over at first base.
That's because Ferris is playing behind him. The payoff, the runners go, and ball 4 low and in. What an at-bat for Freddy Sandoval. He didn't put all the weight of the world on his shoulders, and a lot of times, Todd, when you're struggling like the Kernels have been the first month of the year offensively, a batter tries to do too much himself.
And these guys, they apparently have listened to Ty Van Berkeley, the roving hitting instructor who was in town for the Burlington series, and Justin Bachman, of course, who does a fantastic job as the Kernels' everyday hitting coach. They're being very patient up there against a guy that turned in a very good start against them. I have a feeling that they went back over the hitting charts that they kept of that first game against Dennis Dove and said, hey, here's some things that we noticed. Maybe if we work this guy a little longer, make him throw more pitches, he'll put us on base with walks, or we can get better pitches to hit. That appears, and I'm just a layman, but not a Billy layman, just a layman, but this appears to be what the Kernels are doing tonight, and so far it's working. I wish we had less than 2 outs because we'd have more room to play with, but the bases are full.
For Aaron Peel, Brian Eversgerd, the swing pitching coach, a former Redbird lefty, came out to the hill to talk it over with Dove. Dennis will work from the stretch and pitch to Peel, who wraps one to shortstop, and it'll end the inning. The shortstop, Matt Shepard, underhands to the second baseman, Jarrett Hoffpauir, and the Kernels threaten but can't get the big hit from their cleanup batter, who forces Sandoval 6-4. A little bit surprised that Aaron jumped on the first pitch, but he did, and that ends the Kernel third inning threat. No runs, 1 hit, 2 walks. There were no swing errors, and the Kernels leave the bases full and have stranded 4. We go to the lower half of the third here in Davenport, and now wait a minute. Todd, what happened?
Well, swing baseball owner Kevin Krause is down on the field behind home plate conversing with the umpire, and that usually only means one thing in this league. We may have some weather moving in.
Well, let's hope not. We'll keep an eye on it, and Todd, thanks for the heads up. You're absolutely right. When an owner of a team or a GM comes out to talk to the plate umpire, it's usually with a radar report from the weather. After 2.5, it's no score in Davenport. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball in the zone.
There's a reason Dick Ramsey is the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company, Skogman Realty. It's because Dick Ramsey works harder for you than anyone to make selling your home easy for you. Take Dick's one-of-a-kind home trade program. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes and Dick will buy yours. Dick Ramsey provides 2 other unparalleled services: a free 1-hour telephone loan approval, and a free 1-hour telephone appraisal on your property. Dick Ramsey of Sobin Realty, the #1 home seller for the #1 real estate company.
I live for you, I feed your cats, I fold your undies at the laundromat. Unless you want me to have them dry, I get paid for that. I'll work things out, things get bad. I'll save my soul pat before I meet your dad. I'll wear a turtleneck to strategically hide my sex. If I can, I'm quitting the band, I'm waiting your hand. I'm giving you all my time, but this Dr. Pepper is mine. Rich taste, forget it. This Dr. Pepper is mine. One taste and you get it. I'll shop with you, always be true. I'll never share my Dr. Pepper with you. Sorry. This Dr. Pepper is mine. One taste and you get it. So rich. This Dr. Pepper is mine. Refreshing taste, great and vitamin taste. This Dr. Pepper is mine. Isn't even a word.
Swing third inning, and striking one off the end of the bat into shallow right is Jake Mullinax. There to catch it is Jordan Renz, and that's now 7 in a row retired by right-hander Fernando Rodriguez. First pitch swinging, Mullinax, a .217 batter, stroked it off the end of the stick and flew out to right field. The batter's Mike Ferris. This big guy has been tucked into the number 8 slot in the swing order to take some pressure off him. He's batting just .174. And Fernando Rodriguez delivers a fastball outside for ball 1. The Kernels are in navy blue caps with red bills. Ball 2 up and away, and Todd Brummelkamp took a visit to the National Weather Service website, and we'll get his report on what could be coming our way. Hopefully nothing too serious, but as Todd noted, Kevin Krause, the owner of the swing, was out talking to plate umpire Darren Badon after the Colonel third. Ball 3 is up and away to Mike Ferris. Now, you don't want to lose him. He's only hitting .174. Ferris, a second-round Cardinal pick last year out of Miami University in Ohio. He swings on a 3-0 pitch. Todd, it looks like you thought you could see that coming.
Well, they green-lighted him. Sometimes when a guy's in a slump and you can expect a ball down the middle, they'll do that to try to get him some confidence.
There's strike 2 on the outside corner. Let's see if Fernando can come back and get this fella. He was behind 3-0. Ferris is a heavy-set left-handed batter, and he grounds one to short. Sean Rodriguez has it and throws out the batter. That's 8 in a row retired by Fernando Rodriguez. He has mowed down the first 8 in the swing lineup, and with Simon Williams, who was a real Colonel nemesis in the last series here a week and a half ago batting. Todd, what does your radar tell you?
Well, it tells me, and I, again, am no meteorologist, I'm no Denny Frary, but I would have to wager a guess that it might be raining on our listeners in Cedar Rapids right now. We appear to be in a dry spell right now with a rather large front just off to the west.
As Fernando Rodriguez just misses with a breaking pitch low and away, ball 1.
It appears to be moving across Cedar Rapids and Iowa City right now and on its way towards Davenport.
Swing and a miss by Simon Williams, the right-handed batter, strike 1.
Most of the severe weather or the heavier rain is down south by Burlington, and I don't know if they're home tonight or not, but we're on the very northern edge of a front.
A high pop-up in foul ground. This will test Chris Walson, the Colonel newcomer, and Chris Masters, the challenge, catching it just beyond the Colonel first base dugout on the warning track material to end the swing third inning. Simon Williams has fouled out to first, and that's 3 perfect innings for right-hander Fernando Rodriguez. After 3 in Davenport, it's still a scoreless duel between the Kernels and Quad City. This is Colonel Baseball in the Zone.
Eastern Iowans agree. The nice spring weather makes it a pleasure to be outdoors. Enhance your pleasure this year with a backyard beautification project. Let Peck's Landscaping design and install the perfect landscape for your backyard, an outdoor space that's just right for you and your family. Peck's carries the best quality and hardiest nursery stock available. Combine that with a wide variety of landscape products and expert advice, and you'll have the yard of your dreams. Just imagine what it could be. Want a skillfully built retaining wall? Perhaps a brick or cobblestone patio? No landscape is too large or too small for the pros at PAX. Call or stop in and arrange a time for your free estimate. Don't let another spring go by without new landscaping for your backyard. Beautiful, affordable landscapes designed and installed by PAX. PAX Flower Shop and Garden Center, Nursery and Landscaping, corner of Blairsbury and Edgewood Road Northeast, landscaping Eastern Iowa since 1956.
Watch your team's out-of-market games live from anywhere. Log on to ESPN.com for MLB.tv. Live Major League Baseball right to your desktop. Subscribe and catch your favorite team live from any computer. Get the most baseball available anywhere, live online. Log on to ESPN.com. Sign up for MLB.tv and never miss a game again. MLB.tv now on ESPN.com. Sign up today.
With Colonel Director of Media Relations Todd Brummelkamp alongside, I'm John Rogers, and we have played 3 scoreless innings in Game 1 of a 3-game series with the swing of the Quad Cities. It'll be the numbers 5, 6, and 7 batters in the Allen Motor Company order to face right-hander Dennis Dove. Warner Madrigal ran the count full of his first at-bat, leading off the second inning before bouncing out to second. The outfield plays Warner to pull. The right fielder, Joe Mather, is, I would say half a football length from the right field line. That's how far off the line he is. Strike 1 on a curve to Warner Madrigal. Now the 0-1. There's another breaking pitch, same result, strike 2. Now the Quad City outfielders shift in as a trio. They take about 10 steps over to the right. Breaking pitch, strike 3. Good morning, good noon, good night. Warner Madrigal never saw a fastball, and he's caught looking, and that's the 4th strikeout for Dennis Dove. He really carved Warner up that time.
Warner was heading back to the dugout almost before that ball was in the catcher's net. I think he knew exactly what was going to happen there.
Jordan Renz struck out his first time. A blistering fastball is a strike to Jordan. The wind is really whipping hard now from the left field foul pole out towards the Mississippi River. That's not a good sign. It must be 25 miles an hour. Strike 2 to the Colonel right-handed batter. And Dennis Dove has come out with 5 straight strikes.
You can see the baggy slacks that Darren Boudon has on behind the plate just rippling in the wind.
A breaking pitch is hit softly up the first base side, and that's easy for the pitcher who gloves it. Dennis Dove had to dart off the mound to his left, and near the line he picked up that little squibber off the bat of Renz and threw Jordan out. 2 easy outs for the swing right-hander. And now let's tell you that this right-hander Dove has pitched 9 2/3 innings against the Kernels this season in 2 starts and given us 1 run. None so far tonight. A pitch just missed inside to right-handed hitting Chris Walston, ball 1. Walston struck out on a 3-2 pitch his first time up to end the Kernels' second inning. Chris chops one to deep third. Backhanded, it is Mullinex, and his long throw gets Chris Walston. Wow. What a rocket arm exhibited by Jake Mullinex as he had to back up behind the bag at third, backhanded that ground ball by Walston, and had plenty of steam on his throw to get Walston. Down in order go the Kernels in a blink of an eye in the top of the 4th inning. The swing comes to bat in the bottom of the 4th. Fernando Rodriguez Jr. has not allowed a base runner through 3. And it's the Kernels nothing, Quad City nothing. This is Kernel Baseball in the zone.
Hey, Dad, did you catch the game last night? Wow!
Oh, no, the wind was messing up my dish.
Oh, man, too bad. Maybe next time.
Hey, Dad, did you see that documentary on fire ants? Oh, fantastic stuff.
Oh, no, I had a little problem with the old dish.
Too bad. You really missed something special.
Say, Ted, remember that episode of Nip Tuck last week, the one with the doctor?
No, afraid not. I think it was raining that night or something.
Hi, Teddy.
Hi.
Hey, I saw this romantic movie the other night. It made me think of you.
Well, I meant to, but I think there was some bad weather going on.
You know, Ted, I could really see getting together once in a while, but I don't know if I want a dish relationship.
Oh, man.
Want a weatherproof way to watch television? Get rid of that dish and call Mediacom to learn about our 12-month $29.95 offers. Call today at 1-800-800-CABLE. That's 1-800-800-CABLE.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Mark Schlereth from NFL Live. He brought some gifts to the table today. It's actually a DVD. He's sort of the Tom Amansky of offensive linemen.
That's exactly what I am.
Okay, you teach people how to cheat, hold, bite, kick,
leg whip. These are. I made a series of DVDs in the off season. And,
so did Paris Hilton.
Right. Well,
The Dan Patrick Show. Weekdays on ESPN Radio.
Fernando Rodriguez breezed through the first 9 hitters of this game, so he'll start the fourth with the leadoff batter, Matt Lemancic, who he caught looking in the first inning. We're scoreless in Davenport, and Todd, we feel fortunate to be rolling along here into the fourth inning because our good friends down in Burlington have been socked.
Well, yes, according to the radar, they've got some heavy, heavy rains down there. And
here's a high fly ball into straightaway center for Richard Giannotti. First pitch swinging, Matt Lemancic flies to center. That is now 10 straight for Fernando Rodriguez Jr.
And Fernando is dousing the Quad City hitters almost as bad as Mother Nature doused our good friend Randy Wehofer and the Bees down in Burlington tonight. They'll have to take on Lansing in a doubleheader tomorrow. That game was postponed due to rain.
That game is off.
That game is the only one in the Midwest League so far tonight that has been affected by rain.
Matt Shepard, a switch-hitting shortstop, lost the first pitch from Fernie as his teammates call him foul into the aluminum bleachers down the left field line. There are, golly, I can't remember, Todd, I think there's 24 suites here at the remodeled John O'Donnell Stadium.
They have exactly twice as many as we do at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
And if you're at the ball game tonight, you'd be very fortunate to be watching it from a suite because it is chilly outside. Ball one is outside to Matt Shepard. Now the next pitch is a strike at the knees, according to Darren Badon, the plate umpire. He hesitated before calling strike 2 to Shepard.
No, we should mention that if you're interested in a Kernels Diamond Suite,
here's a pitch hit fair off the third base foul line into left, and it'll be a double. I'll be darned for Matt Shepard. That's as cheap a hit as you'll ever see, Todd. All Shepard did on a 2-strike pitch was reach out and bloop it to the right of Freddy Sandoval. It hit the lip between the dirt and the grass and almost came to a screeching halt. It also hit the foul line.
Right on the, I guess you could call it the paint here at John O'Donnell Stadium, and sort of popped up in the air like a ping pong ball. And Freddy Sandoval, or Sean Rodriguez, doing a good job of running over there and sliding on his knees to try to get to that ball quicker, but it does go down as a double. John, I was saying if anyone is interested in a diamond suite at a Kernels game, they can always call the Kernels at 363-3887 and ask for Jessica Ferguson. We have plenty of those suites available, and it's a good time. I've been in a couple this year so far, and check things out. 363-3887 for Kernels Diamond Suites. And again, ask for Jessica Ferguson, as she will take care of you.
Joe Mather takes the pitch low. Now a curve, a strike, and a snap throw to second by Tommy Duenas in the dirt, blocked by Rodriguez. 1-1 to Joe Mather. Yes, I'm glad you encourage folks to call Jessica. And a suite is one of the most memorable and meaningful experiences you can provide employees, friends, family, clients, customers. They'll just be so impressed.
We have more information at www.kernels.com if anyone's interested in a Diamond Suite or any other type of group outing at Veterans Memorial Stadium this summer. Dates are filling up fast. Call the Kernels quickly.
Joe Mather lifts one foul off to the right, and it's 1-2 to Joe. No score, but Matt Shepard's at second. With one out here in the fourth inning, no score. Joe Mather grounded to short in the first inning. He's a tall right-handed batter, and he swings at a changeup and didn't get it. Strike 3. Mather down on strikes, and that's 2 away in the swing 4th inning. Jarrett Hoffpauir, the cleanup batter, first pitch swinging, grounded out to short back in the first inning. Hoffpauir, dangerous hitter, 7th in the league with a .333 average. He's a right-handed batter. Fernando Rodriguez comes set above the belt, and his Uncle Charlie is a beauty, a strike on the inside edge. Big gap in right center for Hoffpauir as Richard Giannotti's playing this cleanup batter to hit into the left center field gap.
That was lightning.
Look out, Hoffpauir struck by the next pitch, and Jarrett is fine as he hoofs it down to first. 2 away, first and second, 2 out in this scoreless game in the bottom of the 4th. Todd, I did not see the lightning you alluded to.
It was either that or a light bulb flashed above us, but I have a feeling that was a little bit of lightning.
And the plate umpire may have seen it as well. We don't want to speculate as to what could be on the way, but let's hope an out is forthcoming with Derry Hammond stepping in. Big, strapping right-handed batter, and he cuts on a fastball that ran away from him. Strike 1 swinging. Derry struck out in the second. Fernando Rodriguez trying to pitch out of a first and second, 2-out scoring threat being mounted by the swing here in their 4th inning. Hammond on an 0-1 delivery. Took it just low for a ball.
John, there may be some fans asking here in the bottom of the 4th inning, what would happen if the rain came right now?
Well,
would it be an official game? A lot of people don't know the specific rule.
I'm going to have you review it in a moment. I think I know it. The 1-1. Base hit into left. There will be a play at the plate, I think. Aaron Peel comes up with it. The throw home, and the runner is safe. The ball gets by Duenas. The batter Hammond into second. On to third is the runner Hoffpauir, and I'll be darned, it's 1-0 in favor of the swing here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Gary Hammond, his 21st RBI of the year, ripped it into left. A throw home by Peel, a good one, would have had the runner. Shepard, he kind of slipped rounding third, but Aaron's throw didn't have much on it, and as a result, with 2 out, Shepard scored. And Todd, I believe a throwing error has been charged to Aaron Peel to allow the batter, Derry Hammond, to go into second base.
Well, I don't understand how that can be a throwing error, but it does appear that they have placed an error on the board.
And the first committed by the Kernels. 1-0 swing here in the 4th. Brady Toops takes a strike, and there is lightning, and this game is not official, Todd. When playing at home, the visiting team must get 5 at-bats, right?
That is correct. Can you smell it in the air, John?
A little bit. I sure can.
If you grow up in the Midwest, you know what I'm talking about. You can smell rain.
And some thunder rumbles in the background. The swing have rumbled to a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. A cheap 1-out double. Then on an 0-1 pitch to Jarrett Hoffpauir, he was struck. He joined Matt Shepard aboard, and Derry Hammond drove in the first run of the game with a single into left. Hoffpauir went to third. Hammond advanced to second on a throwing error. Here's a swing and a miss by Toops on a 2-0 count, and a throw whipped down to third by Tommy Duenas, and scrambling back in ahead of that throw was the runner, Jarrett Hoffpauir. 1-0 swing here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Toops, a left-handed batter, swings late at a curveball. Strike 3. The scoreboard was wrong. It was a 2-strike pitch. And Brady Toops fans, all things considered, we are out of this 4th inning in good shape. The swing, strike for 1 run. On 2 base hits. There was 1 Kernel error. Quad City leaves a pair, their first 2 stranded. Todd and I will keep an eye on the weather and tell you what's up when the Kernels come to bat in the 5th inning. After 4, it's the swing 1, the Kernels 0, and you're tuned to Kernel Baseball in the Zone.
When we met, it's forget we would never forget the Ojanos. Now it's where mi amore and I dine in. We carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannelloni, tortellini, or try their delicious salads and sub sandwiches too. The Ojanos is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember the Ojanos with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, guys. Sorry I'm late for lunch, but I have a good reason.
Let me guess. New purse, new shoes. Hey, new haircut.
Yeah, I had a change of heart with my hairstyle and stopped by Cost Cutters.
Oh.
So, what you think?
I think it looks great.
I love the color and the layers.
Yeah, I like it and all, but I'm sure you'll change it next week.
Hey, my hair is always a struggle. One minute I love it, the next I'm ready for a whole new hair color. Cost Cutters is the only salon that can keep up with my changing style.
Ooh, remember when you had it short and spiky?
Or when it was shoulder length and red.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
No, I should try shoulder length in red.
Chris?
Yes.
All I know is that Cost Cutters is the only salon for me.
And me.
Ditto.
Hey, gang. For once we all agree.
Yeah.
Make your neighborhood Cost Cutters the only salon for you and your style. Cost Cutters, just your style. Cost Cutters is proud to support Eastern Iowa's most wholesome, affordable family entertainment, Cedar Rapids Kernels Baseball.
Well, with the score 1-0 swing, Todd Brummelkamp, we really have to keep an eye on things because thunder is rumbling and lightning is appearing, and Darren Boudin has the toughest job. The plate umpire has to really keep an eye on things to make sure that nothing untoward or dangerous develops here.
Well, no one wants to be the one that has someone get hurt on their watch, especially with so many thousands of millions of dollars on the field that both organizations have invested in these players.
Ripping one foul into the left field corner to open up the Colonel fifth, Tommy Duenas. Tommy flew out to left in the third. It's 1-0 swing, and we're in the top of the 5th inning. Just past 8 o'clock here in Davenport, and Dennis Dove has mastered the Colonels so far tonight. A ground ball to third, down to get it Jake Mullinax, and he throws in time. Tommy Duenas has grounded to third to open up the Colonel 5th inning. This game will be official if the Colonels get their full at bat here in this 5th inning, and we trail 1-0. Nate Sutton, a left-handed hitting second baseman, batting 9th in the Allen Motor Company order, flew out to left in the 3rd inning. Todd, did you just see more lightning?
A very big lightning strike straight across over beyond the Casino Rock Island on the other side of the river.
Ball one low to Nate. Now the right-hander misses high and away as, thunder continues to rumble in the background here on the banks of the Mississippi. 1-0 swing. Ball 3 high and away to Nate Sutton. And it looks like Dennis Dove has had a bit of a lapse in mental concentration. He's fallen behind the 208 hitting number 9 Colonel second baseman Sutton 3-0. He took a little something off of it, dropped in a pitch for a strike.
John, the thing they say about lightning is if it's close enough to spot, it's close enough to hit you.
Well, that's a alarming thought. Ball or strike 2 on the outside corner, and the count now full to Nate Sutton. The crowd making a ruckus down below. Nate pops one foul out of play down the third base line, and the count remains full to Nate Sutton. The Colonel record on the road this season is exemplary, 8-7. Overall, the Colonels are 13-18, 6.5 games back of division-leading Clinton, 1/2 game ahead of Peoria, who are in the basement in the West. Swing and a miss by Nate Sutton. He ran the count 3-0, and Dennis Dove came back to get him on a 3-2 pitch, and Dove is now fanned 6 Colonels. And let's see if Sean Rodriguez can reach base. Let's see if Sean Rodriguez can reach base for the 3rd straight time from his leadoff spot, even though the conditions are threatening here. Todd, we have an attendance count to report.
1,030 people here to see the Colonels in the swing on beverage night here in the Quad Cities.
Strike 1 to Sean Rodriguez. Strike 2, a belt-high fastball, and Dennis Dove is trying to retire his 7th straight Kernel. Sean singled on the infield in the first, was thrown out on a pitch-out trying to steal second. Then Rodriguez walked in the third, got as far as third base. The Kernels loaded the bases with 2 out in the third, but this right-hander got Aaron Peel to end the inning by hitting into a force-out. Ball 1 wasted outside from the swing right-hander. Rodriguez waits. A curve is just low. The Quad City players were headed towards their third base dugout, and now more thunder heard in the background. Big gap in left center. If Rodriguez could torch one in there, he may round the bases. He does torch one, but lines it right to the shortstop. Matt Shepard snared it. A hard-hit ball by Sean ends the Kernel 5th inning, and yes, this game is official. The Kernels go in order for the 2nd straight inning and have done nothing against Dennis Dove in his 2 starts against us this season. Well, it's an official game as we go to the bottom half of the 5th. Quad City owns a 1-0 lead over the Kernels. You're listening to Kernel Baseball from Davenport in the Zone.
Yes, spring is here. So is the bulky item cleanup in Cedar Rapids. Only specific wood and plastic articles are being accepted. The complete list is on the flyer you recently received in the mail. Be sure to check that flyer before putting out any items for city crews when they come to your neighborhood. If you have appliances, tires, and scrap metal you want to get rid of at no charge, follow the instructions on the back of the flyer. This reminder from your friends at Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling.
Are you ready for a little racing? The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM, and Hawkeye Downs want to help you take the family to the races without blowing out your wallet. The last Friday of every month is now the Zone 1600 Family Night. Just click on the zone1600.com and print the special Family Night coupon. Take it to Hawkeye Downs the last Friday of the month, and 2 adults and the kids get in for just $16. 16 simoleons to see the hottest racing in town? That's freaking unbelievable. Get your valuable coupon today at the worldwide headquarters of the Zone, thezone1600.com. And we'll see you at the Zone 1600 Family Night at Hawkeye Downs, the last Friday of every month, all summer long.
Hawkeye Downs Racing.
Another killer deal from your home of Hawkeye Downs Racing on the radio. The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
Bottom of the 5th inning here in Davenport. The Swing scored a run on a 2-out single by Derry Hammond, their leading RBI man, in the bottom of the 4th inning. Hammond now has 21 RBIs in this, the 32nd game for the Swing, or the 31st game for Quad City. And for Fernando Rodriguez, he'll face right-handed hitting third baseman Jake Mullinax, and he misses inside with the fastball. Mullinax represents the start of the lower third of the Swing order. He pops one foul. This one is heading toward the Kernel first base dugout and beyond the reach of big Chris Walston, the Kernel newcomer. Todd Brummelkamp, one reason that we're a little bit more optimistic about continuing to play here is that there is nobody near the tarp, and usually if rain is really impending, the home team will dispatch their grounds crew to the tarp.
That's right. Unless they're hiding down in the Kernel's dugout, there's no one really over there by that tarp, which means they may have the one-up on the weatherman.
A terrific curveball is into Jake Mullinax. 4 strike 2. Mullinax is in the hole 1-2. He's out of the University of Nebraska. And a fastball down and in from Fernando Rodriguez.
Speaking of Nebraska, our AAA affiliate Salt Lake is taking on Omaha tonight in Pacific Coast League action. Stingers 16-13 and in first place.
A 2-2 pitch rolls underneath the glove of Freddy Sandoval. They may rule an infield single. Freddy will tell you he should have had it. I'd charge him with an error, but knowing the official score here, Todd, they'll give the batter a hit.
Yep, and
but Freddy should have had it.
Freddy should have had it, but they'll say that the ball did not touch Freddy's glove, and it'll be an infield hit. Although nothing flashed yet, I don't think. Maybe they're contemplating.
Hopefully they are. Jake Mullinax reaches on a ground ball that just went right underneath the glove of Freddy. He did have to move a step or two to his left, but should have had that one. Now here's Mike Ferris, left-handed batter. We haven't turned it. Well, there we go. How can you rule that ball a single? But we've been here before, and we know how the scorer rules here. At least he did think about it, but if that wasn't an error, I don't know what is. Man, oh man, how can you call that a base hit? The runner not going, and a fastball outside to big Mike Ferris. So the hit is the third of the evening for the Swing, and two of them have been of the cheapest variety. But they lead it 1-0.
And, John, the rain has begun to fall here.
And that's why we're glad to welcome one of my good friends who's helped me revamp my retirement portfolio. A familiar name to Kernel fans. He took over for Kelly O'Brien a couple of years ago as our director of ticketing. Justin Brink is with American Express Financial Advisors. That's a mouthful. Glad Justin could come up and visit with his good friend Liz. Here's ball 2 high and away, and I don't know if Fernando Rodriguez is upset about the shoddy fielding. I know Fernando would never point the finger at a teammate, but he seems to be upset, and he's fallen behind the number 8 hitter Mike Ferris 2-0. Mike grounded out to short his first time up. Oh, for a double play here with the rain starting to fall. It isn't pouring. It's a rather light rain right now. A throw to first, and the runner dives back safely. Jake Mullinax has 3 steals in 3 tries. When the Kernels bat in the 6th inning, Todd will have our Kernel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question for you, so get ready to log on to our website. Swing and a foul. Ferris had a good cut. Todd, what is that website that folks can already head to?
www.kernels.com for the Roadshow Trivia Challenge. If you're an avid listener, you'll poise yourselves over the keyboard and await the question. And it's a good one tonight, John. We think it's a little more challenging than normal.
Swinging a foul into the screen by Mike Ferris, and Fernando Rodriguez, after the visit to the hill by Tommy Duenas, has come back to even the count at 2-2. 1-0 Swing. They have their leadoff man aboard here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, and a few of those raindrops, Todd, are starting to leak through the screen windows above.
It appears to be coming down a little harder now than it was before, but...
Swing and a miss by Mike Ferris. Oh, Fernando Rodriguez fell behind the batter 2-0. He comes back to get him. Todd has an expensive Gateway laptop computer, and there's no way he's going to let that thing get wet. Glad you battened down the hatch on that, Todd. The batter is Simon Williams. Simon, the number 9 hitter, fouled out to first baseman Chris Walston to end the Swing 3rd inning. And the only design flaw in this stadium is now starting to make itself apparent. There is no window we can open here, and there are no windshield wipers on the window that we can't open. Therefore, we have a situation that all of you have been in. Think about driving your car without windshield wipers. You can't see through the window very easily, can you? Todd, this is not a complaint, but it's too bad the Swing couldn't have designed this press box to be a little more open.
Well, there's something about press boxes. There was a heck of a flash of lightning. The Swing, windows that don't open. Burlington, windows that shatter.
Here's more lightning and thunder. A 2-0 pitch is a beauty, a strike on the outside edge to right-handed hitting Simon Williams. Simon's hitting .271. 1 homer, 11 RBIs. He stands straight away from the right side. He's a big fella, 6'4", 210, and he uses a rust-colored bat. The runner at first has a modest lead. He's not going, and there's ball 3 outside. The rain's coming down a lot harder now, and I don't know how much longer plate umpire Darren Boudin will wait before he orders the tarp on. The Swing lead it. It's an official game, 1-0 Quad City in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Still no one down by that tarp, John.
Surprising. The runner goes, and a pitch swung on and missed. Tommy's throw to second is in time to get the runner. Tommy Duenas guns out Jake Mullinax. And, Todd, I didn't see who was on the receiving end of that Duenas peg.
I think that one's going to go 2-6. It looked like Sean Rodriguez was over there to make the throw, and, boy, Mullinax slid right into him.
Wonderful peg by Tommy Duenas to nail Jake Mullinax for the second out here in Quad City's 5th inning. Bases empty, and the count is full to Simon Williams. Swing and a foul. It rattled off the mask of Darren Boudin. Actually, it didn't hit his mask, Todd. Where did it get him?
Well, he is grimacing like it hit him on flesh. So I'm going to think that maybe it hit him up on his bicep or...
And Tommy Duenas, even with the rain coming down, abides by that unwritten fellowship law in baseball that when the umpire takes one, the catcher gives him a little time to recover. Likewise, when a catcher is hit by a foul tip or a pitch in the dirt, the umpire takes time to dust off the dish. Ball 4, doggone it, a 2-out walk to the number 9 hitter rides high. The 3-2 pitch was high to Williams, and a runner at first with 2 out. Let's see if Fernando Rodriguez asks for the Colonel dugout to bring him out a popsicle stick or a tongue depressor to start clawing away mud in his spikes. It is raining rather hard now, with the Swing owning a lead. The Quad City Ball Club has a right-hander up in their bullpen, but I'll be darned if we'll be able to see what number he is, even with our binoculars. A throw to first, and Simon Williams was leaning, but he'd go back safely.
John, I'm going to guess it's Dennis Medina, only because I think we saw him 3 times in our last series.
Well, you take a look out there with those field glasses, Todd, and when you find out, let us know. The rain is falling, and the Swing have a runner at first here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Colonel's down 1-0. A pitch out, and the runner holds at first. More lightning. Oh, boy. And if you're listening on the Internet and you're a parent of a Colonel ball player, don't worry. We are reporting lightning, but believe me, the Midwest League umpires are very well schooled in the... Now, wait a minute. We've got a stoppage in play. Let's note the time, 8:23. 8:23, and we have a delay in this game. They're coming out and covering the dirt batting circle as well as the mound, and now that grounds crew that was suddenly was not visible has all popped out of a bunker beyond the right field line. I don't know where they were holed up in, Todd, but all of a sudden they did appear, and the tarp is being put on here at 11:23 with a runner at first, and now we get a greater appreciation of how hard it is raining. When you look up into the lights, you can see that it is raining fairly hard, and
they're taking their sweet time getting that tarp put on, John. It's almost like they want this game to be called official while they're leading 1-0.
That would be a breach of integrity, and George Spelius, the president of the Midwest League, will not stand for that. They have dedicated 10 men to that tarp, and they're all pushing it like you'd try to push your car out of snow. That is, they're having to lean hard into it with their feet digging in behind them. But as Todd said, they are taking their time, and we're not at all insinuating that they wouldn't hustle out there, but it is an official game. Well, let's do this. Let's keep it right here, and let's give you a chance to earn a prize from the Bim Ritter Diamond Shop, our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question. And all you have to do to participate is log on to our website. It's www.kernels.com. And if you've been one of our previous 15 winners of a prize from the Bim Ritter Diamond Shop as our Roadshow Trivia Challenge question winner, or if you've been one of our 16 winners of a Springhouse $5 gift certificate during our home broadcast, please play along wherever you're tuned in tonight on the Colonel network, whether it be on the web, on the computer, or in the zone. And Todd, once they log on to our website, where do they go?
Well, we should still have that link over on the right-hand side, right at the top of the page. It says talks a little bit about the Roadshow Trivia Challenge. All they have to do is click where it says to click, and they'll be able to send us an email right from their computer, and we get it here on the trusty Gateway laptop that you referred to earlier, John, and find ourselves a winner as the tarp is finally covering the playing surface here at John O'Donnell. It does not appear that too much damage has been done.
No, but they better get a couple of men on the right corner of the square, because first base is being precariously exposed to the rain. Now they do dispatch a couple of fellas down there. And Todd, before we give the Roadshow Trivia Challenge question, I know you had something to add about the tarp.
Well, I'd just like to say that if Jesse and Matt and our fine grounds crew are listening, it's really putting into perspective what a good job that we do in Cedar Rapids. And I say we because I occasionally am out there pulling that tarp as well. This is a disorganized affair that the Swing have. And
well, now they finally, to give them credit, have gotten the tarp on. They better sandbag it down, though, because wind is a factor here. Well, Todd, our listeners have gotten onto our website, www.kernels.com. They've clicked on that link you told them to, the Roadshow Trivia Challenge, and let's give them a chance to win a prize from the Bim Ritter Diamond Shop.
Well, John, we're playing the Swing of the Quad Cities, a St. Louis Cardinals affiliate, and you being a Cardinal fan, I had a feeling that you would dig up a St. Louis-themed question, and you have. It's a pretty good one. It's a little more, I think it's a little more challenging than some of our past Roadshow trivia questions because this is not a Hall of Fame player by any means that will be the answer to this trivia question. Tonight's Colonel Roadshow trivia question, name the only player in Cardinals history to slug 4 home runs in one game.
We will tell you it was done within the last 15 years. We will tell you it was on a road game. It wasn't at Busch Stadium. We will tell you it was done by a switch hitter. And it helped the Cardinals win a game. Again, Todd, the Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question.
Name the only player in St. Louis Cardinal history to slug 4 home runs in one game. A single game, 4 home runs. As John Rogers alluded to, it was done recently within the past 2 decades. As I said, this is not a Hall of Fame caliber player, so it may be a little more challenging, but we do have a lot of Cardinal fans in the Cedar Rapids area, as well as out there in cyberspace, listening to the broadcast on thezone1600.com. So I would not be surprised if we had a winner that logged on to www.kernels.com and came up with the correct answer.
Here's what we'll do, Todd. We'll give our listeners, both on the radio in the zone and on the computer, a chance to answer that question. And we're going to take a break, a timeout here from Davenport, where this game is official. The Swing is batting in the bottom of the 5th with 2 out and a runner at first. They lead the Colonels 1-0. I do expect that every effort will be made to continue the action here tonight, and hopefully we will have more baseball for you. Fernando Rodriguez Jr. has pitched a terrific ball game through 4 2/3 innings. The Colonels, however, through 5, have not been able to solve Swing right-hander Dennis Dove. Our best scoring chance came with 2 out in the 3rd inning. The Colonels loaded the bases with 2 out. Rodriguez walked. Giannotti bunted his way on for his 8th bunt single of the season. Freddy Sandoval walked to load the bases, but first pitch swinging Aaron Peel wrapped out to the shortstop as Shepard forced the runner at second, Freddy Sandoval, 6-4. We're going to send it back to Sean in the zone. Sean will hook us up with our great ESPN programming, and we'll probably be back in about 10 minutes, and by that time, Todd will likely have a winner in our Colonel Roadshow Trivia Challenge question. Todd, you're crossing your fingers. Does that mean we already have a winner?
No, I'm just saying hopefully we have a winner tonight.
All right.
Well, let's give one more fairly ambiguous hint.
Okay.
The player that did it was an outfielder.
Yes, and he played for probably 8 major league teams. I think he's either playing in Japan now or he's retired.
So let's recap. Name the only player in Cardinal history to slug 4 home runs in one game. Did it fairly recently, within the last 20 years, a journeyman outfielder who was also a switch hitter.
And it is not Stan Musial. Stan hit 5 home runs in a doubleheader.
And Stan was also well into retirement within the last 20 years, John. So.
I believe this happened in either 94 or 95. For Todd Brummelkamp, our Director of Media Relations, I'm John Rogers. We'll be back probably by about 8:45. Right now, though, let's send it back to our in-studio engineer, Sean, who will take it to ESPN programming. This is Colonel Baseball from Davenport, rain delay in the zone.
A triple play, a rarity on the diamond, but produced successfully every day at South Slope Communications in North Liberty. The South Slope Communications triple play consists of voice, video, and data communications for your home or business. Achieve your communications triple play with South Slope Communications. South Slope is committed to providing the latest communications technology to their members while continuing to give service second to none. South Slope can provide your home or business with just about everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and coming soon to all local servicing areas, digital video TV service. South Slope also rents out a beautiful community center event room in their magnificent new building in North Liberty. When you need anything in the communications field, select South Slope Communications. Visit them at southslope.com.
When it comes to fun in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium, nothing compares to the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub. As you bask in the soothing comfort of the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub, you'll be taking in the action from a breathtaking perch just above the left field wall. Register for your chance to be drawn as the winner of the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub by visiting Westdale Mall.
Indiana 50 here in Game 2, live here at the Palace. Rich Curbelo for Game Night on ESPN Radio.
Hey, I know it's only May, but this might be an NLCS preview. San Diego against Los Angeles. I guess we have to clarify that as being the Dodgers.
Los Angeles Dodgers. Los Angeles Dodgers of Los Angeles.
Of Los Angeles.
Right.
You know, why are we making such a big fuss about them being Los Angeles? Because the Los Angeles Rams played in Anaheim.
Yeah, but the Los Angeles Rams began in L.A.
But still they ended up playing in
Although the
Anaheim.
Angels did originally begin in L.A. playing
There is some synergy there. The Dodgers and Cardinals each leading their respective divisions, going head-to-head in the Show Me State. Let's check in with Chad Gunderson. Chad?
All right, guys, thanks so much. Bottom of the fourth inning, Cardinals and Dodgers tied at 3. The Cards took a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the second on an RBI single by Larry Walker, then squandered the lead in the top of the third. Cedar Torres led off with a single, followed by an RBI double by Hesop Choi. J.D. Drew with an RBI ground out. It was 3-2 Dodgers until the bottom of the third when Mark Grozolana had an RBI triple, scoring John Mabry, who was filling in for the injured Scott Rowland, who's out with a sprained left shoulder. Again, bottom of the fourth inning, Cardinals and Dodgers tied at 3. One side note, Cardinals shortstop David Eckstein has extended his 12-game hit streak. Live from Busch Stadium in St. Louis, I'm Chad Gunderson for Game Night on ESPN Radio.
Thanks, Chad. You know, Sean, we're going to be entering the dog days of summer here not too far down the road, and we need storylines in baseball which keep our interest. What interests you about baseball right now? All right, I'll pose that to you, Doug. What interests you about baseball?
There's several things. First, Dontrelle Willis, 7-0, 1.08 ERA in 7 starts this year. I mean, that's phenomenal. Also, just the Colorado Rockies and Kansas City Royals have been so bad this year. It's almost they're in competition, in cahoots, if you will, to see who can field a worse baseball team. Those are two things that kind of perk my attention. Plus, the Baltimore Orioles. You know, how long can they maintain this pace? The pitchers are pitching quite well. I don't think they're going to win this division. I don't think they will get the wild card. But I will tell you, they will be a pain in both the Red Sox and the Yankees side if one of them is trying to get the wild card later in this year, because they have a lineup that will make you use your bullpen, that will make you constantly turn your head and twist your neck if you're a pitcher.
You know, I'm sitting here wondering, are we seeing good baseball? Are there good storylines? And I'm coming to the unanimous decision amongst myself that, yes, we are. We got the Milwaukee Brewers over 500 making a statement in the National League Central. We got Paul DePodesta, whose plan and system obviously works in the National League. We got the Chicago White Sox playing almost 800 baseball. I think we got tremendous stories in Major League Baseball that are going to carry us through the summer into college and pro football. Can Sean Salisbury go 4 downs on game night? It's a tall task. 4 big NFL stories and a very unique take on all 4. Get your Whizzinator ready. That's next on Game Night on ESPN Radio. Bring it on.
America is a country of entrepreneurs, and if you're a small business owner, you're helping shoulder the lion's share of the U.S. economy. You can lighten that load a little at Sam's Club. When you shop at Sam's Club, you get everyday low costs on products you need every day. After all, while you may be carrying around the weight of the American economy, you shouldn't have to do all the heavy lifting by yourself. Join the club. Sam's Club. We are in business for small business.
Feeling the pinch at the pump? Gas prices are high, but there is something you can do about it. Change your air filter. The Department of Energy reports changing a clogged air filter can save as much as 15 cents per gallon of gas. Install a new Fram Extra Light air filter every 12,000 miles. It'll take you less than 10 minutes. It can improve your car's performance and save you money at the pump. Better performance and better mileage. How do they do that? Remember, before you slam it, Fram it.
Coming up on the Thursday edition of the Dan Patrick Show, we'll talk to the Mavericks head coach Avery Johnson, fresh off the Mavs' performance in Game 2. What did he think about Dirk Nowitzki calling out Eric Dampier? Plus, General Colin Powell, the former Secretary of State, will join us. He shares his excitement on driving the pace car for the upcoming Indy 500. It's the Thursday edition of the Dan Patrick Show on ESPN Radio.
ESPN's new show, Teammates, shows just how well today's great athletes really know each other.
What do you like to do when nobody's watching?
Sleep.
Dance. Stretch and naked. Oh my God.
Superstars like Brian Urlacher, Amari Stoudemire, and Barry Zito have some quality Q&A.
I can't tell everybody about that, man.
Great athletes, tough questions, surprising answers.
I can't believe you said it.
Teammates, hosted by Stuart Scott, Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
When the NFL testified before Congress, you bet Colin Cowherd noticed a difference.
This is why they're the undisputed king of sports. Here is the highlight moment of why Paul Tagliabue absolutely gets it. A lot of commissioners in sports and a lot of bosses talk at their fans. Paul Tagliabue, my friends, talks to his fans.
I happen to believe that Americans can solve American problems just as well as anyone else in the world. If we've got to start outsourcing or offshoring our drug programs, then I think we're in trouble.
Well, I wasn't thinking of that. I was thinking
But that's what the WADA is.
Yeah, well,
it's outsourcing and offshoring our drug programs. And I think we can do it better here.
Grown-ups, that's how grown-ups act. He almost made the congressman look un-American. Americans are better. Every team has a chance. Every city has a voice. Every fan feels included. And management and labor are adults working together for you.
The Herd, a show for big boys and girls on ESPN Radio.
The NBA playoffs continue Thursday night with a doubleheader of Game 3s on ESPN. First up, Shaq and D-Wade have the Heat poised for a run at the championship as they take on the Wizards. Then, Tim Duncan and the Spurs are chasing another title, but the young Sonics are thinking upset. Heat versus Wizards and Spurs versus Sonics. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, Thursday night on ESPN.
All this May on ESPN Classic, Sundays are getting real rocky. Go for it. And Sunday,
you thought I was tough? This show will kill you.
Mr. T, the man, the mohawk, the mouth.
I'm gonna crucify him.
Can Rocky survive?
I paid it for
a human wrecking machine?
Go get him. I am the type.
Rocky 3, part of Rocky Month on Real Classics, 8 p.m. Eastern, Sunday on ESPN Classic. Presented by Circuit City. Get Classic. Call your cable or satellite provider.
Tuesdays with Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN Radio. It's the Just Shut Up Award.
Just shut up.
I think he already said that. And the reason that you need to be... down and shut up! As I said,
Shut up.
Come on, I'm trying to get through this. Shut up. No. Anyway, it's your chance every Tuesday. You can vote at ESPNradio.com. And just keep your tracks shut. Oh, that is it.
The Just Shut Up Award is good-natured fun. Every Tuesday with Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN Radio.
Watch your team's out-of-market games live from anywhere. Log on to ESPN.com for MLB.tv. Live Major League Baseball right to your desktop. Subscribe and catch your favorite team live from any computer. Get the most baseball available anywhere, live online. Log on to ESPN.com. Sign up for MLB.tv and never miss a game again. MLB.tv now on ESPN.com. Sign up today.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Mark Kestisher, NBA playoff update. The Detroit Pistons jumped out to a 15-point first-quarter lead, Game 2 of their conference semifinal against the Indiana Pacers, who cut it to 10 at halftime. And the Pacers have surged ahead, a 22-10 run to start the third quarter. has given Indiana a 2-point lead, 62-60 under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Jermaine O'Neal has 18 for the resurgent Pacers, who currently have a 2-point lead over the Pistons in Detroit. Game 2 of the series. Detroit leading 1-0. Game 2 between the Phoenix Suns and Dallas Mavericks will get underway in about 45 minutes at America West Arena. Suns leading that series 1-0. Baseball on ESPN. They're in the 5th inning in St. Louis. The Cardinals and Dodgers are all tied at 3. St. Louis has dropped 4 of its last 6 coming in, and no Scott Rowland tonight, and who knows for how long. He is sitting out tonight's game with a sprained shoulder after a collision with Aesop Choi last night. Florida Marlins beat Houston 2-1 tonight in Miami. Dontrell Willis went 8 innings to become the first 7-game winner in the major leagues this year. In fact, he's 7-0. His ERA went up a tick from 1.07 to 1.08. Gave up a first-inning run, and Damian Easley's third-inning home run, 2-run shot, gave the Marlins the win. Arizona, 3-2 win over the Nationals on Chad Tracy's RBI single in the 8th. Brandon Lyon closed it out, his major league leading 13th save. Cubs 4, Mets 3 in 10. Colorado 2 in the 9th beats Atlanta 6-5. San Diego 7, Cincinnati 2. Tim Stauffer in his major league debut went 6 innings for the win. Milwaukee beat the Phillies 5-2, and the Pirates over the Giants 7-2. In the American League, White Sox 5, Tampa Bay 2. Chicago avoids the sweep, improves the major's best record to 25-9. Devil Rays to 1. Brazelton goes to 1-7, first 7-game loser in the Bigs. Baltimore 7-4 win over the Twins. Cleveland 9, the Angels 3. Toronto 12-9 over Kansas City. Tony Pena resigned late last night. Interim skipper Bob Schaefer falls to 0-1. The Yankees a 13-9 win over Seattle to finish the sweep. Red Sox sweep Oakland 6-5. And the Tigers get an infield single from Carlos Pena driving in the go-ahead run. Detroit 6, Texas 5. I'm Mark Kestisher.
News, scores, highlights. Sports Center every 20 minutes. ESPN Radio.
It's game night on ESPN Radio, along with Doug Gottlieb, the point guard, Sean Salisbury, the quarterback. I'm merely just a human, and John Seibel. We're going to go 4 downs with Sean Salisbury in just a second. Pete Caldera, the record's going to join us in about 20 minutes. What exactly are Jason Giambi's options, and how long will the New York Yankees be patient? Pete Caldera from the record will tell us that in 20 minutes. But let's get back to this story, a bizarre story that's coming out of the Twin Cities today. Ontario Smith was actually detained for a little while back in the Twin Cities airport back on April 21st with an elaborate contraption designed to beat drug tests. What this thing is called is the original Whizzinator, okay? And the police or security officials ran across this because they saw this interesting powder in his luggage, baggage, carry-on, whatever, thinking that it might have been cocaine. As it turns out, it was dried urine, which is part of this device. It comes with dried urine, has this fake penis, it has a bladder, it's got syringes, it's got heating pads to heat up what would be urine, all an elaborate plan to beat drug tests. Ontario Smith has 2 strikes against him in the National Football League. One more strike, and he is up for a 1-year ban from the NFL. Now, he says it was for his cousin. It's not his. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, because, so many cousins we know out there need these kind of things.
Plus, they often carry these in their bags for their cousins.
Oh, don't you?
Yes.
I carry them whenever I go to a family reunion. I got all kinds of drug contraptions.
If you're going to have a Whizzinator, go big.
Well, you can go white, tan, Latino, brown, and black.
Yeah, I didn't know Latino was a color.
There's 5 different products for this.
I'm thinking about a Latino-colored suit next time I'm on TV.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
So, with this bizarre story, it's only fitting, then, that we should go 4 downs with the quarterback.
All right, first down. With the offense already in flux, Sean Salisbury.
Mm-hmm.
No Randy Moss. How should the Vikings handle this latest issue with Ontario Smith?
I think it's a couple-fold, guys. One is I expect Nate Burleson to be a breakout player this year. I mean, he played well last year, but a real breakout player. So he won't replace Moss, but it'll help. I think Culpepper is at the top of his game. I'm not worried about this offense. Michael Bennett, if he's healthy, we know he's got game. Llewellyn Moore filled in pretty well. So I think Ontario Smith is expendable. He's a bonehead. And he's not real bright if he's going to walk through there and then throw his cousin under the bus. If he throws his cousin under the bus, won't he do that to his teammates? I think the offense is going to be fine. They'll score points. They've improved the defense. They can win with or without Ontario Smith. What I think the Vikings are going to do is look long and hard into this, see the major risk factor that it is, and if they can't move him, cut him, unless, of course, they test and find out that he was negative, and if they get some honest answer or some great lie from him. But I think there's enough depth at running back that you don't need this headache. They're trying to cut themselves a headache. I think that you'll probably find him playing in another uniform in 2005.
Sean, how did you say they would look at this situation?
To look at this situation in a long and hard situation. They're long and hard.
Yes. Well, no
pun intended.
Yes. You know what, though, guys? I know this guy messed up when he was back in college, and you can give that, you can hand that up as youthful discretion, youthful indiscretion, if you will. But he's an adult now, and he's still making these mistakes.
Hey, let me just say one quick
bottom
thing.
line, he's just a wanker.
One thing about that, it happens once, we give a guy a second chance. It happens twice, we start to wonder. It happens 3 times, guys, it becomes a trend.
Hey everyone, this is Sean Patty in the ESPN studio. I'm going to send you all back to John Rogers at the ballpark.
In-studio engineer Sean Patty, thanks so much. As promised, Colonel Media Relations Director Todd Brummelkamp and I are standing forth and giving you an update on the conditions here at John O'Donnell Stadium. The rain is still coming down steadily, not hard, it's not pouring, and the Kernels have endured a rain delay now of about 25 minutes, trailing in the bottom of the 5th inning to the swing 1-0. This is an official game, and we hope to resume it with the skies due to clear here in just a little bit, hopefully. Todd, we had our road show trivia challenge as a rain delay item for fans to sink their teeth into, and a number of them did log on to our website at www.kernels.com, and then they hit the link for the road show trivia challenge question, and we're going to have you repeat the question and congratulate our winner. This winner will earn a prize from the Bim Ritter Diamond Shop.
Our Kernels Roadshow Trivia Challenge question this 11th day of May 2005. Name the only player in Cardinal history to slug 4 home runs in a single game. The correct answer, and we did have several tonight, Mark Whitten. Did it, as you said, in either 94 or 95, somewhere around that time.
In old Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati.
I can sit down and with 30 seconds and Google, I can find the exact date and time that happened. We had a number of winners tonight. Judging by the time that the emails were sent in, the first one that was sent off and received at our website was Nicole LeBlanc. She had the correct answer. Nicole's from Cedar Rapids, and I believe she is the wife of Cedar Rapids Gazette Kernels beat writer Jeff Johnson.
Well, that's interesting. I thought it might have been a relative of the injured Colonel Josh LeBlanc. But Nicole LeBlanc, congratulations. You've earned a prize from the Bim Ritter Diamond Shop. Todd, are you able to congratulate the others who emailed us the right answer, but were not winners because of how we have to go by the first correct answer?
I am. We can look here. Paul Sale of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, had the correct answer as well. He said it was Mark Whitten. I think we had at least one other correct answer here as we sort through the trivia.
Well, that's great, Todd.
And it's good to know that people are listening to our broadcast.
And that they log on to our website where they can keep up to date on all the fun, exciting new promotions that will be part of the fun this last part of May and into the prime summer months. Our website is a terrific marketing vehicle for us, and more importantly, it allows fans to find out anything they want to about upcoming promotions, dates, schedule, times, ticket. They can order tickets. They can find all that they want on Kernel statistics and how the Kernels rank in the Midwest League. It really is comprehensive.
That's right. You can follow the Kernels whether you're in Cedar Rapids or Wausau, Wisconsin, or out in Saratoga, Wyoming. I know we've had Mitch Arnold's mother listen in on the broadcast, Diane Ronan, the wife of Kernels pitching coach, and South Slope Triple Play show guest Kernan Ronan listens in from their home. She was just in town not too long ago, and we had a very nice conversation last weekend. And www.kernels.com is one-stop shopping for anything and everything Kernels related. As you said, John, you can keep up on the team statistics. You can pick up a new Kernels cap or a jersey. You can order tickets to any upcoming Kernels game. John, we should mention that, by the way, it was Matt, our assistant. I don't know whether he would prefer to be referred to as the assistant groundskeeper at Veterans Memorial Stadium or what he would like his title to be, but Matt also knew that it was Mark Whitten. He said thanks for the kind comments about the Kernels ground crew, and also points out that Mark Whitten is remembered as having one of the best outfield arms in baseball's recent memory, although, as Matt knows very well, we have a guy in Cedar Rapids that patrols right field, Warner Madrigal, who has a heck of a cannon himself. So thanks to Matt and Paul and Nicole for emailing us at www.kernels.com and participating in the Roadshow Trivia Challenge. And if Nicole was listening with Jeff probably waiting to write his story for the Gazette, listening to the broadcast.
We're in a rain delay, and the rain continues to fall, not hard, but steadily. The tarp is on. The Kernels and Swing are meeting for the 5th time here at John O'Donnell Stadium. We split 4 a couple of weeks ago, and the only run scored in this game off Fernando Rodriguez came in the Swing 4th inning. Matt Shepard dumped a double past third. It hit the foul line. Then after Joe Mather fan, Jarrett Hoffpauir was struck on an 0-1 pitch from Fernando Rodriguez. Derry Hammond collected his team-high 21st RBI, the 25-year-old journeyman trying to make his way up the St. Louis Cardinal ladder. Lined his single into left field. Matt Shepard scored in front of a throw by Aaron Peel to give the Swing a 1-0 lead. The Kernels had a great scoring chance with 2 outs in the 3rd inning, loaded the bases with 2 out on a walk-infield single and walk, surrendered by Dennis Dove, the Swing right-hander, but Aaron Peel ended that threat by wrapping out into a 6-4 short to second baseman force out. Todd mentioned what you can accomplish by logging onto our website, and one of the most common reasons people tell us in our surveys that they go to our website is to look at our schedule. And after this 9-game road trip concludes a week from tonight here in Davenport, we'll host the first of 4 against the West Michigan Whitecaps, the Detroit Tiger minor leaguers. We split 4 with them about a month ago in Grand Rapids. They'll be in for a 6:30 start Thursday, the 19th of May. Then one of our most popular draws, a noon start, our second noon game of the month of May, a noon game on Friday, May 20th. The 21st, another popular starting time, Saturday, a 5 o'clock start against West Michigan, and then a 2 o'clock game on Sunday afternoon, the 22nd. Velocity Sports Performance in St. Luke's gives all you kids a chance to run the bases after every Sunday Kernel home game, and our next one is the 22nd of May. Then it's off to Beloit for 4. Then we're back at home for a very attractive 8-game homestand over the Labor Day weekend. Memorial Day weekend, the 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th, Memorial Day weekend. We're at home against South Bend. And then we usher out the month of May and in the month of June with 4 against the high-flying Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. They are in 3rd place, or tied for 2nd in the Western Division first half standings. And Todd, besides the schedule, there are other wonderful resources on our website.
Well, that's right. You can check out not just who we're playing on that specific day and what time, but also the special events that are coming up. And, John, as you ran down the month of May, we have a couple great nights coming up at the ballpark. Of course, we mentioned those 4 school nights earlier, the 19th through the 22nd, as we host the Detroit Tigers Midwest League affiliate, the West Michigan Whitecaps. Then we're on the road for 4 games at Beloit to face the Minnesota Twins Midwest League affiliate in Beloit. We return May 27th to Veterans Memorial Stadium. On May 28th, we take on the South Bend Silverhawks at 5 o'clock p.m. That's going to be our first Saturday night fireworks night of the year. Fireworks at Veterans Memorial Stadium every Saturday home game throughout the rest of the season. The following night on May 29th, which is a Sunday, it'll be Pat McGrath hat giveaway. And then Monday, May 30th, our big closer, although there are 31 days in May, our big closer, May 30th, the crazy antics of Berserk coming to Veterans Memorial Stadium. That's just a sneak peek at what we've got on the schedule for you at Veterans Memorial Stadium in the month of May. If you would like to guarantee you will have tickets to any of these games or any other Kernels games now between closing out the season with our last home game on September 1st, all you have to do is simply call the Kernels ticket office at 896-7560 or go online, as we've said, www.kernels.com. Also available is information on the Willie Nelson Bob Dylan concert. Let's Play 2 concert that's coming to the Vet on Saturday, July 9th. It's scheduled for a 6:30 start. Also features dual-tone recording artist The Green Cards. You can get ticket information online at kernels.com and also read about how our friends at Digital Telecommunications Incorporated, DTI, have wired Veterans Memorial Stadium for free wireless Internet access. Anytime you're at the Kernels ball game, you can bring your laptop along and catch up with news, email, whatever, online with free wireless Internet. And, John, one more thing, as I hate to get long-winded here because I know there's certain people out there that don't appreciate that, we should mention that just because we're on the road this weekend, Veterans Memorial Stadium is not sitting unused. We have the Iowa Conference baseball tournament there beginning, I believe, tomorrow and running through the 15th, which I believe is Sunday. The Iowa Conference, of course, a number of small Iowa schools that play great baseball, and we are thrilled for the second year in a row to host their conference tournament at Veterans Memorial Stadium. So if you're out there, and I know there are a number of people that are still skeptical about the ballpark, the new ballpark that has been built there in Cedar Rapids, we do a lot of things there. The Kernels are, of course, playing 70 games there. We have the Iowa Conference tournament. We have a number of high school games. Bob Dylan and Willie Nelson, two of the biggest names in music, stopping by Veterans Memorial Stadium on July 9th as the rain continues to fall here in Davenport. www.kernels.com, your source for all the information that you could want about the Kernels. Come on out. Meet me at the stadium this summer as the Cedar Rapids Kernels look to provide you with your number one source in family fun and entertainment in the Eastern Iowa Technology Corridor area.
Thanks, Todd. We're nearing the top of the hour, and that means we're going to send it back to the zone. ESPN will have a sports update for you, and we'll keep you posted. 1-0 swing. It's an official game in the bottom of the fifth inning, Quad City batting. We're going to send it back to Sean in the zone for the top of the hour Sports Center update with all those finals from this afternoon in the big leagues. We'll likely be back here about 9:15. If anything changes, we'll let you know. The rain delay continues in Davenport, and this is Kernel Baseball in the zone.
Here's a message from Gaffey Insurance Incorporated, Iowa City, and Bauslog for Hilly Insurance. Marion.
There to guide us, standing by us, strong in every storm. Today, more and more people are insuring their homes with us through Auto Owners Insurance. With so many satisfied customers, we must be doing something right. We'll provide low-cost quality protection, claim service that is second to none. And if you insure both your home and car through Auto Owners Insurance, you'll qualify for additional premium discounts. Auto Owners, the no problem people.
See Richardson Hansen Agency, Mount Vernon, and Weidenhammer Andrews Agency, Incorporated, Cedar Rapids, your auto owners agencies.
Auto Owners, the no problem people.
Selling a home is a lot harder than I thought. I need help. Got any suggestions?
Oh, yeah. Call Coldwell Banker Hedges. They're the best in Cedar Rapids.
They've got over 85 agents. How do I pick the right one?
Call Coldwell Banker Hedges at 378-8760 and ask for Nancy. She's the relocation director, and she'll help you choose the best agent for your needs.
Thanks. That's exactly the help I need.
Don't thank me. Thank Coldwell Banker Hedges. They're the ones who will make the difference. Call Coldwell Banker Hedges Realty at 378-8760.
Mavs starters outscored 111-66 in game number 1. Baseball, one game going on right now on ESPN. The Cardinals have taken a 4-3 lead over the Dodgers in the bottom of the 5th inning at Busch Stadium. Florida beat Houston 2-1. Dontrell Willis, 7 starts, 7 victories. His ERA actually went up to 1.08 as he gave up a run over 8 innings for the win. Arizona beat Washington 3-2. The Pirates a 7-2 win at San Francisco. Ty Wigginton hit a 7th inning 2-run homer to break a tie. It was Milwaukee 5, Philadelphia 2. San Diego beat Cincinnati 7-2. The Cubs on Derek Lee's walk-off homer, his 10th of the year, beat the Mets in 10, 4-3. Colorado defeated Atlanta 6-5. American League. Yankees 13, Seattle 9. First sweep of the year for New York, which has won 5 straight. Boston got a Jason Varitek 2-run homer last of the 9th to beat the A's 6-5. Toronto 12, Kansas City 9. Tigers beat the Rangers 6-5. The White Sox over Tampa Bay 5-2 as the 25-9 White Sox avoid the sweep. Orioles 3 in the 8th beat the Twins 7-4, and the Indians win in Anaheim 9-3 over the Angels.
Sports Center every 20 minutes. ESPN Radio.
Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN Radio's Just Shut Up voting saw 3rd place going to Jeff Van Gundy this week.
Just shut his yeah.
2nd place goes to John Rocker for comparing his plight to Jackie Robinson and Hammer and Hank.
Shut up!
And your winner this week for bringing up a race regarding the NBA MVP voting.
Go look, the people have spoken. They've spoken loudly.
And yes,
they've spoken proudly.
Very proud.
And with one voice, they've said, hey, Dan Levitard, just shut up.
Tuesdays with Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN Radio.
And we talk about a lot of things, and I really don't want to go into that. Just the 3 of us run in my office, and we discussed a lot of things, but we never put anything to them like that.
7 nights a week, 52 weeks a year,
13 years and counting.
Sports news,
highlights,
live updates coast to coast,
in-depth analysis,
the guests you want to hear,
and other stuff.
Live from the worldwide leader in sports. This is Game Night on ESPN Radio.
Along with Doug Gottlieb and Sean Salisbury, I'm John Seibel. Welcome to Game Night on ESPN Radio. We just heard from Joe Torre talking about a conversation he and general manager Brian Cashman had with player Jason Giambi yesterday. Should Giambi accept his assignment to the minor leagues? Yes or no? You tell us. Log on to your computers, ESPNradio.com. Should he go to the Columbus Clippers, or should he stay at the Major League record, or at the Major League level? We're going to ask Pete Caldera. He'll join us from the record in just mere moments and find out what he thinks is actually going to happen. He follows these New York Yankees, so his opinion is going to carry some weight. We'll get to him in just mere moments. In 20 minutes, Nate Burleson, wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. So much going on in this offseason. And yet another layer today with Ontario Smith, the story coming out about his drug contraption thing to avoid getting caught with drugs in his urine. It's just very strange, very bizarre stories. He got stopped in an airport in late April. We'll find out what Nate Burleson and some of the Vikings are thinking about that. And then about 40 minutes, our Grand Slam edition of baseball with stops in San Francisco, Baltimore, Chicago with the Cubs, as well as the Philadelphia Phillies. But we start off with your starting lineups and batting leadoff. The premier of the Sean Salisbury fan club, Doug Gottlieb.
Yes, thank you very much, John. Dontrell Willis is 7-0 with a 1.08 ERA. He has allowed in 8 starts, 8 runs. I mean, that is dominant pitching. I understand there was thoughts that a couple years last year he was a flash in the pan. Here's a guy that he has kind of a funky delivery. By the second half of the season, people start to figure him out. Well, guess what? He's throwing harder now. He's throwing longer now. 110 pitches tonight. And he's throwing better pitch selection, better use of his fastball, moving it in, moving it out, great control. He has been just dominant. And while our eyes are fixated on the Yankees and what's wrong with their pitching staff and when the Red Sox will get healthy, and boy, how are the Chicago White Sox getting this type of pitching? Let's not forget about Dontrell Willis, only 23 years old, who is dominating this league. Sean Salisbury.
Guys, I'm going to read you a quote, and it may be one of the most atrocious quotes I've read of all time. I've taken a lot of crap from a lot of people, probably more than anybody in the history of this sport. I know Hank Aaron and Jackie Robinson took a good deal of crap, but I guarantee it wasn't for 6 years. I just keep thinking, how much more am I supposed to take? Well, John Rocker, you're right. Jackie Robinson and Hank Aaron didn't just take it for 6 years. They took it for their entire life. As Henry Aaron's going through now, as Jackie Robinson, please do not compare your boneheaded self, after all your racial remarks in the first place, compare your boneheaded self to Hank Aaron and Jackie Robinson and the scrutiny and the problems and the race issues they faced because you catch abuse down the foul line in the bullpen because you're a bonehead and the things you say and the fact that you can't pitch anymore. I think it's atrocious. It's embarrassing. It's time. It's old hat. It's tired. It's time for John Rocker to take his long locks and go find another gig and shut up. Talk about the Just Shut Up Award. Absolutely ridiculous that John Rocker compares his scrutiny to that of Hank Aaron and Jackie Robinson. He should be ashamed of himself.
John Seibel.
Well, I'm glad to see John Rocker bringing the mullet back into fashion in the 21st century.
Nice.
After a recent loss against the Miami Heat, a couple of Washington Wizards, and Gilbert Arenas was one of the two, said that maybe this team needs some size inside, and maybe they should reconsider Kwame Brown's suspension. Maybe this 6'11", 248-pound center should be brought back onto the team where he might be able to then D up against Shaquille O'Neal. 6'11", 248 pounds. Boy, those are good numbers. And his numbers coming out of high school were good numbers. But his 7 points a game in the regular season, not good numbers. His 5 points a game in the playoffs, not good numbers. And those numbers are outstanding compared to the effort and the difference he actually makes on the floor. The guy doesn't make a difference. The guy, not a positive difference. The guy doesn't give any effort, which is why the team should not have even considered reinstating him to the team. Eddie Jordan, the head coach, said, quote, "No, there's not," when asked, is there a chance that they would bring him back to the club? You can't bring him back to the club. When you suspend a player for, in essence, dereliction of duty, you cannot ever bring him back, or you are sending the wrong message to your team that you're not going to stand for something unless your back's against the wall. Kwame Brown needs to grow up in a hurry. And he's going to have to do it somewhere else because he's not going to be a Wizard next year. And shame on Gilbert Arenas and whoever else in the Washington Wizards locker room wants to bring him back. Because if you want to win a championship as a team, you want to do it with team players, not with a guy like Kwame Brown. Let us know what you think. Send us your emails to our Net Zero inbox at GameNight@ESPNRadio.com. It is Game Night on ESPN Radio, along with Sean Salisbury and Doug Gottlieb. I'm John Seibel. The New York Yankees, boy, they can't lose anymore. They win again today, finishing up a sweep on the Seattle Mariners, and they did it without a Jason Giambi. Didn't even pick up a bat in today's game. You just wonder when he's going to actually swing an effective bat for the New York Yankees. For more on this, we go to the OnStar Hotline. That's where we find Pete Caldera of The Record. Pete, appreciate you joining us. And we got a situation here with Jason Giambi where he met with Joe Torre and Brian Cashman. He has refused assignment to the minor leagues. So what is his problem to begin with?
Well, I mean, to begin with, I think refused assignment to the minor leagues is too strong a term. It was suggested, he was basically asked to consider, would he consider it, and he said he wouldn't. But the bigger picture is that we're either watching a guy who's suddenly reaching the end of his career, at least as the player he once was, or we're seeing at least the beginning of the end of his Yankee era, because it doesn't appear that this can go on much longer. And this has become a pretty big road trip coming up for Giambi. If he can't start turning it around quickly, the Yankees have to consider other alternatives, and one of those would be, finally eating that monstrous contract of his.
Pete, for whatever ails Jason Giambi, where's the right place for him to get the fix?
You mean what place of the 2019?
Is it New York?
Yeah.
Or is it Columbus with the AAA team?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at this point, Joe Torre made a pretty broad suggestion that he'd do much better playing first base regularly and getting 4 at bats, and obviously that's not going to happen in New York. He's blocked at first base now by a red hot Tino Martinez, and Giambi's always been and is now more so a defensive liability. He just he's not going to get the regular playing time in New York. The way that Tino Martinez is getting, so it makes it even that much tougher for him to rectify his problems. Coming off the bench, DHing occasionally. Now he's going to play Friday night in Oakland. He's going to start that game, and how much he plays, this road trip needs to be seen. But Torre, at least coming out of this meeting, has made it clear that he's going to try to get Giambi as many at bats as possible over this next week.
Yeah, Pete. I mean, listen. I understand that Jason Giambi did not produce last year. And then he left his long stint on the disabled list with the undisclosed injury that has been leaked as the tumor. But if you look at Kevin Brown's numbers until his last pitching performance, on May 3rd against Tampa Bay, he gave up 8 runs on 13 hits, and people were saying he was done, he was finished, he was washed up. Now all of a sudden he pitches give up 5 hits, doesn't give up an earned run in 7 innings. I mean, isn't there at least some sense of, hey, maybe we should give him a true chance, give him a chance to dig himself out of the slump, and see, is he really a 200 hitter?
Yeah, well, that inherits the problem with, being a member of the New York Yankees, where you don't play 162 games, you play 162 seasons, and every game is magnified, and that's part of what we do too in this market. So, yeah, but the thing is, have they seen enough of it of Giambi over, say the last year and change here? Is this what he is? Is he a part-time player who has somewhat of a high on-base percentage, but cannot drive the ball the way he has, cannot hit for the 300 average or even close to that anymore, cannot be a productive member of a championship lineup? Those are the determinations that the Yankees have to make, and probably make quickly, because at some point he may become a drag on the rest of this team. And listen, the Yankees can only have this go on so much longer, I think, before they really have to think of the greater good of the team and doing what they do, which is in the business of winning championships.
Hey, Pete, we got about 30, 40 seconds. Is Jason Giambi mentally tough enough for New York?
That's a great question, and I think we're still trying to learn that. Now, he came out of that meeting with Cashman and Torre and looked them in the eye and told them, I can handle this. I can handle it up here. And right now, they saw him in spring training. They believed it then. I think they're trying to believe it now. He's telling them, he's trying to give them honest answers about this, and he hasn't backed down yet. So I think you got to give him the benefit of the doubt on that right now.
Hey, Pete, appreciate the time.
Okay, thank you.
Pete Caldera of the Record following the Yankees. He was at the Yankee Stadium today as New York finished up a sweep of the Seattle Mariners. In NBA basketball, we got 2 playoff games tonight. The first one is coming to the final portions of the fourth quarter. The Indiana Pacers, they were left for dead after the first, but they have responded with authority. Let's get an update from Rich Corbella. Rich?
What about those Pacers? 82-77 over Detroit, and Reggie Miller, the legend, keep going. 3 key three-pointers in that second half. 19 points. Jermaine O'Neal also has 20 and 10 rebounds, leading the Pacers. And Tayshaun Prince, 21 points for Detroit, but Richard Hamilton has been non-existent in the second half, just 4 points. And we are 4:12 left in regulation here at Game 2 with the Pacers leading the Pistons 82-77. Live here at the Palace, Rich Corbella for Game Night on ESPN Radio.
Thank you, Rich. And Pistons-Pacers Game 3 Sunday, you can hear it right here on ESPN Radio. 3:05 tip time, that's 3:05 Eastern. Jim Durham and Will Purdue with the call, 3:05 Eastern, 11:05 in Unalakleet, Alaska. If one of your coworkers had to get the Whizzinator...
Hey, all right, this is Sean Patty again in the ESPN newsroom, and I'm going to send it back to John Rogers at the ballpark for a Kernels update.
Sean, thanks. We are at the ballpark, John O'Donnell Stadium in Davenport, Iowa, where the rain delay continues. And before we get to what we think may be happening, Todd, there is some good news. although the tarp's still on the field, the rain is all but subsided. It's just barely coming down now.
It's barely coming down, and we looked at the radar, and there is a fairly wide band that does carry all the way across from Cedar Rapids over here to the Quad Cities. But if you look out on the tarp, you can see, the drops are coming down fairly spaced out at the moment. So yeah, I think it would be possible to pull the tarp and maybe try to continue play, although that will be a call best left up to the umpiring crew. And we spoke just moments ago with Swing of the Quad City owner Kevin Krause about the discussions going on in the umpires' locker room. And throughout our update in this segment, we will continue to cast one eye toward the Colonel dugout, where Ron Klein will most likely be giving us the signal when he learns that if this game is canceled, in which we believe it may possibly be. We will know first when Rhodey comes out and gives us his signal. Right now, we're going to continue to march on with our broadcast as if this game will resume, but prospects at this moment are probably about 60-40 that we have an official game in the books.
And it's 1-0 Swing in the bottom of the fifth. We are going to use this segment of our broadcast to bring you up to speed on everything this afternoon, and there were many ball games as well as tonight on the State Farm Major League scoreboard here from Davenport. It's brought to us for the 10th year in a row by State Farm insurance agents Lanny Peterson, Gary Schubat, Dale Thompson, and Al Shetler. And let's start, Todd, with the National League this afternoon and tonight.
We will start with San Diego Padre former first-round draft pick Tim Stouffer picking up his first professional win. He beats the Reds 7-2 at the Great American Small Park in Cincinnati. 7-2, San Diego pounds out 16 hits, including a Ryan Klesko home run, his 9th of the year. It was the Milwaukee Brewers continuing to play great baseball, defeating Philadelphia 5-2 at Miller Park in Milwaukee this afternoon. Doug Davis improves to 4-4 for the Brewers. Bob Abreu and Placido Polanco homering for Philadelphia. Bill Hall for Milwaukee. It was a wild one in Chicago at Wrigley Field as the Cubs had to go 10 innings to defeat the New York Mets today by the score of 4-3. Ryan Dempster gets the win for the Cubs in relief. Derek Lee hits his 10th home run for the Northsiders. Atlanta falls at Colorado 6-5. The Rockies have been pretty poor both at home and on the road this year, but they do manage to take a victory, a 6-5 victory over the Braves today in Denver. They pounded out 12 hits, and Andrew Jones homered for the Braves in their loss to the Rockies. Pittsburgh is 7-2 winner over San Francisco. That's at Pac Bell in San Francisco. The Giants falling 7-2 to the Pirates. Josh Fogg getting the win. He improves to 3-2. Noah Lowry falls to 1-4 with a 5.49 ERA for San Francisco. The Arizona Diamondbacks welcome the nation's Capitals team, Washington Nationals, to the ballpark out in Arizona, and the Diamondbacks win at 3-2. They scored a run in the bottom of the 8th inning to take that game. John Rauch, the losing pitcher for the Nationals in that outing. Also today, Dontrell Willis improves to 7-0 with a 1.08 ERA as the Florida Marlins win 2-1 at formerly known as Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami, now Pro Player Stadium. 2-1 over the Houston Astros. Willis outduels Roy Oswalt. 7th win against no losses. Amazing. And we have one game in the National League that is in progress, and that would be down at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Under the arch, the Cardinals lead 6-3 over the Los Angeles Dodgers. That game is in the bottom of the 6th inning. Now, on your State Farm scoreboard, we'll take a look at the junior circuit, which will start by looking at the 12-9 win.
All right, Todd, we're going to do this. I didn't mean to interrupt. This game has officially been called, and so here's what we'll do, Todd. You'll start right where you were, the American League, and we'll go at a little brisker clip because I think the ball club came in uniform and will want to scurry out rather quickly. So what we'll do is continue our look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard, tell you that this game is a final, 1-0 swing, 1-0 Quad City wins it in a rain-shortened game. Todd, I didn't mean to be so abrupt.
No, that is absolutely all right. We will say this is officially called at 9:21. That is when we received word, just as we were beginning to look at the American League scores. Toronto defeats Kansas City today 12-9, that game at the Rogers Center in Toronto. Miguel Batista getting the win. Two of the American League's best teams over the past decade or so battling it out today in Boston at Fenway Park. And the Royal Rooters go home with a 6-5 victory over the Oakland Athletics. Keith Folk getting the win for the Red Sox. Manny Ramirez and Jason Varitek both homer. The Yankees 13-9 winners over Seattle in the Bronx today. Tino Martinez, Gary Sheffield, Jorge Posada, and Derek Jeter all homering for the Yankees. Paul Quantrill improves to 1-0 with the win in relief. Detroit bounces Texas today 6-5. They pounded out 11 hits at the ballpark in Arlington. Former River Bandit Jamie Walker gets the win in relief for the Tigers. The White Sox remain hot. If Jeff Johnson is still listening to the broadcast, the Sox win 5-2 at Tampa Bay's Tropicana Field. Minnesota falls to Baltimore today, 7-4, that game at Camden Yards. And our parent club, the Los Angeles Angels, taking one on the chin as Cliff Lee and the Cleveland Indians win 9-3 at Angel Stadium in Anaheim. And that's a look at your State Farm Major League scoreboard.
Thanks, Todd. Nothing this evening in the American League.
No, all games are complete in the American League.
Todd, thank you so much. We're going to move on this Colonel Curtain Call portion now of the broadcast and give you our Access Direct play of the game. Swing win it 1-0 in a game that was called in the bottom of the fifth inning this evening. Access Direct brings us the play of the game following every Colonel ball game, and Access Direct is in the midst of a new hiring initiative. They'd like you to join their team, and you can apply at Access Direct by logging on to their website at www.accdir.com or call Access Direct to join their team at 261-0260. Why Access Direct? Well, medical, dental, and vision insurance and a 401k savings plan. Those are wonderful benefits. Plus, a casual dress code so you can go to work at Access Direct on your terms in blue jeans or tennis shoes or a T-shirt, and it's a fun, friendly place to work. They need team players. Apply today at Access Direct. Our Access Direct play of the game, the Colonels batting in the top of the third against Quad City starter and winner Dennis Dove. It was a scoreless game. With 2 out, Sean Rodriguez drew a walk. That brought up Richard Giannotti playing for the first time since a week ago Tuesday. And with Giannotti at the plate, let's enjoy our Access Direct play of the game.
Him on the bag, he's just a few steps behind that cutout so he can charge up on a possible bunt.
Sean's not running. Here's the bunt down the third base line, and they let it roll, and it will roll fair. Fair ball, 2 feet from third base, and the G-Man is back with his best weapon. By my count, that is his 8th bunt single of the year. He rolled it down the third base line.
And it stayed fair, and that's why we chose Richard Giannotti's 8th bunt single of the season as our Access Direct play of the game. Let me give you the final line score as Todd and I get ready to board our Tri-State Travel Motor Coach to head back to the City of 5 Seasons. Quad City in a rain-shortened game, 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error. They left 3 runners on. The Colonels, no runs, 2 hits, 1 error. We stranded 4. Dennis Dove beats the Colonels for the second time in 2 weeks. His record now 3-2. Fernando Rodriguez pitched a whale of a game. Certainly didn't deserve a loss here tonight, but he slips to 1-3. He gave up the only run of the game on a 2-out single in the fourth, to Derry Hammond, a 25-year-old. The game only took an hour and 21 minutes. The tarp was put on at 8:23, and the game was called at 9:21, so a 58-minute rain delay results in a Quad City win in a rain-shortened series opener. There were 1,030 fans here at John O'Donnell Stadium to see the Swing win at 1-0. We'll greet you tomorrow evening at 6:40 with the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. 6:40 is when you can Join the Kernels for the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. We'll have the first pitch at 7 o'clock. The Kernels will try to even the series with the swing at a game apiece following a rain-shortened 1-0 loss here in Davenport tonight. Sean Patty was our in-studio engineer. Sean, thanks as always for your great work. Thanks to Colonel Director of Media Relations Todd Brummelkamp for making the broadcast a lot more fun to bring to you, as he always does when he's able to join us on the road. 1-0 Quad City in a game that was called by rain in the home half of the fifth inning. Great to have you with us on this wet, soggy, cool Wednesday evening, and look forward to bringing you the action with the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show at 6:40 tomorrow evening. That does it from Davenport, 1-0 Quad City. This is John Rogers wishing you a great Wednesday evening, and this has been Colonel Baseball in the Zone.